Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to I guess we can now call it the Game Tavern podcast. I am your usual sultry voiced host. Probably not even sultry voice. I just gotta stop, stroking my ego there. But, hey, it's me.
Yeah, don't flatter yourself too much. Yeah, don't flatter yourself too much there, Tom. Anyway, I'm his usual co-host, Justin, the trivia guy, apparently.
And our somewhat
The
reliable number
internet
three.
belongs to no man. The internet belongs to no man, except yours truly.
Yep, Hunter's here. AKA, I'm just gonna level with you, Hunter. You need a more simplified channel name.
No.
I'm just being honest because I'll be fucked if I can actually remember what all the fucking words in it.
Not changing my
TF
name,
Ultra
okay?
Goji fan. TF Ultra
Yeah,
Goji fan. How is that not
I'm
hard
not
to remember?
I am not changing it. It is my brand, it is my name, get over it.
How's that hard to
Like,
remember? TF Ultra Goji fan.
I can't call myself Gamer Subs because then I open myself up to a lawsuit.
Well, in my defense, for me, it's a bit of a tongue twister.
Good.
All right. Well, we're not here to talk about chat. Oh, go ahead.
But yeah, how's it going, everybody? We're here. Oh, just so we're clear, tonight's episode, this was all my doing, and I want to make clear before we get too far into it. I only suggested we do this because I don't ever want us to have an excuse for today's topic ever again. I just want to get this over with because, my God, do we have a lot to cover.
Oh, boo hoo. I had to cover this twice without you. And sober.
Well, I gave you money for whiskey, so it makes up for it.
I'm putting that to good use.
Well, I would hope so. That's what it's there for.
And I guess since I just opened that bottle of worms, I'm just going to say it. The Game Tavern does not support drinking in excess, in public or in otherwise. Do not operate any sort of vehicle when you're inebriated. Just get drunk at home. And don't do anything else stupid like pick up knives or text your ex. I made it. I'm looking at hey, you know who you are. I know who you are. You know who you are. So don't do it. Put the phone down. No, don't put the phone down if you're watching me. Don't put it down. Just don't open the dialer. Just don't open the dialing. Just keep it on the YouTube app.
Stalling here, folks. He's stalling here, folks.
I'm stalling for Hunter.
Yeah.
You should be thanking me.
Nah, let's just go ahead and rip this Band-Aid off.
Yeah, look at Optimus. Even he's pissed at me.
He's judging you silently.
But anyway,
But yeah,
yes,
so as you
for
can,
the third and
as you can,
hopefully final time, we will be discussing the infamous fan film Transformers Prime Galvatron's Revenge.
as you can tell by when this video goes up on Tom's channel, we are not using any images from it because we don't want to get copyright struck.
No, I'm just using a shot of straight on of Optimus Prime from the show itself. Because apparently Hasbro is far more forgiving.
Well, it depends. But anyways, that's not what we're here to discuss. So yeah, we're here to talk about the infamous pile of dog crap that is Galvatron's Revenge. Now, don't get me wrong. We're going to try and be somewhat constructive with our criticism. We're still ripping this thing a new one. So, pucker your buttholes.
I'm going to see if I can... Hang on. I'm going to see if I can... Is my noise... Yeah, my noise reduction is on. Is it even... Well, whatever. So,
should we start this off by talking about the premise? Like what we did with TF1.
Let me handle this one.
I'm using the...
Yeah, go ahead, Tommy. Because I feel like if either of us... If me or Justin were to try and attempt this, I don't think we even could.
Lucky you got me, who can be somewhat level-headed. So, where do we start? Well, the premise of this is that this is supposed to take 5 years after the end of Predacons Rising, the movie that capped off the beloved series Transformers Prime. This is supposed to take place once Cybertron has been completely restored, able to generate new sparks through the Well of All Sparks, and Energon has returned to the planet. This is seeing our Autobot heroes basically learning how to rebuild their planet and face a new coming threat without their beloved leader. Both facing off against the Decepticon mercenaries, the Combaticons, and the now resurfaced Heralds of Unicron, seeking to revive their master.
The Destructicons.
I refuse to call them that.
Oh no, I'm in complete agreement. Like, hate that name. Absolutely hate that name.
Yeah, and we're not. But of course, our main cast of Team Prime is not alone. They are joined by two new bots: the rookie elite guard recruit Hot Rod, or Rodimus, force of habit, and the Wrecker Lieutenant Springer. Now, I just gave you, I think,
I was going to say, sounds like a pretty solid setup. So you're probably wondering, what exactly is it that makes us hate it so much?
Oh, where to even start?
Now, I just have one little thing, and it was Justin who suggested this before we started up. Should we just try to prove that this isn't entirely us just wanting to rip Carlos a new one and just go over what we did like about the movie? I mean,
like I said, I'm all for giving constructive criticism, because at the end of the day, don't get me wrong, as pissed off and frustrated by this movie as I was, there are things about it that I like, I'll admit. And overall, all of this was salvageable.
I guess we could just start off with the most solid part about the movie, and that was the character designs.
Oh no, the character designs are solid. All the the returning characters all look like how they did in the show, so no complaints there. And as far as the new characters go, yeah, they look good. Springer and Springer's alt modes, especially the look of them, clearly ripped from the Fall of Cybertron game.
I just have I just have one before we move on to Hot Rod. I just want to say I do have one complaint about Springer's flight mode.
But it's not really a vehicle.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't really let it go. That's not really triple changing. Call me a Puritan, but it just I would have preferred something a little more that looked like a VTOL aircraft as opposed to just folding down the wheels and boom, it flies.
No, I get it.
I mean, again, I know it's based off the concept art from Fall of Cybertron, but yeah, again, I would have preferred his helicopter mode.
But that is literally my only complaint. Is just the one alt mode, the kind of ATV-esque thing they had going on with his ground mode. I love that.
That was really cool. Yeah, cool.
I felt it was very fitting for a character like Springer. It's big and chunky.
Mm-hmm.
Very fitting for a wrecker. Rodimus, because yes, okay, technically he goes by both names, but technically he's supposed to be called Rodimus, so I'm gonna try and call him that. Rodimus's design I also have no problems with. Robot mode wise, he is ripped straight from the IDW comics, and as somebody who loves the IDW.
I was just gonna say, considering that's a really good Rodimus design.
And when I say the IDW comics, people, I mean specifically his design from the Last Lights adventures.
Lost.
If you've seen the
call me pedantic.
Lost Light, whatever. But if you've seen the Mastermind Creations third-party figure, this is basically that rendered beautifully in 3D CG.
And with an Earth vehicle mode.
Also, I'm just gonna say it, his vehicle mode, that is straight up a Lambo.
Oh yeah, clearly based on Utrud,
aka the Bayverse version of the character that everyone hates, but I kind of like him.
No, design wise, I thought he was cool. I kind of liked what they were going for. The eyes kind of freaked me out, but I mean everything else was fucking cash money.
Also, to give Bayverse Hot Rod credit, at least they actually had someone that can speak French, providing the French accent.
It was the same guy
Yeah.
who played Owen's partner in Jurassic World, right? That was the guy
Yep.
voicing Hot Rod.
Yeah, Omar Sy.
Please bring
that
Omar
was the
Sy
same
into
guy?
more
I did
Transformers
not know
projects.
that.
I think he could really do some good jobs.
I
Dude
agree.
has
I
a
would
cool
Have him
voice.
play have him play Knockout and make him just like just a snobbish French artist.
That would actually be really funny.
I would actually pay good money to see that. No, not gonna lie. But yeah, anyways.
I mean, I'm giving this for
But yeah,
free,
Hot Rod.
Hasbro. Call me.
Right. Yeah, but yeah. So Hot Rod design wise, again, no complaints with him. The Combaticons.
Combaticons. They all look great.
Yeah, they all look great. Like again, like now, admittedly, yeah, Onslaught looks like he's ripped straight from the Fall of Cybertron game, but at the same time, my reply to that is, so what's the downside of the argument here?
I mean,
Granted, they did make his cannons, like his back cannons, more noticeable.
Pronounced.
And admittedly,
Yeah,
a lot of their
that's
vehicle modes looked like they were ripped out of like concept art from Halo. But again, I've missed the part where that's supposed to be a negative.
Considering the whole idea is that these are like, new military vehicles.
Yeah, like you
created.
said, this is supposed to be set 5 years later. So it's like, honestly, I didn't even know that there was supposed to be a 5-year time gap till you brought that up, Tom. So thank you for that.
I mean, I just found it somewhere when I was just doing some research, making some notes of what transpired. Just kind of getting like the big cliff notes of
Right.
some of the production stuff. But yeah, the Galvatrons look fantastic.
Yeah, they're. I
they
like
actually gave Vortex his right colors.
Yeah.
No offense
The classic
to Fall of Cybertron Vortex, but
apparently that was like some sort of mix-up in the art and like programming department.
I remember
something along those lines.
I remember. Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Yeah,
Actually, I think
it happens.
Hunter, I think you told me about that.
Yeah, it was a goof up. But honestly, it's one of. I would personally say though, despite it being a goof up, it was not a bad goof up. It's like honestly, I dug the colors.
Yeah. I actually didn't know like the blue and gray was Vortex's original colors until I finally saw the Combaticons in G1 because Fall was where I first learned about the Combaticons.
Hey, not a bad place to get introduced to them.
Not a bad way to be introduced to them at all. But now we move on to the Heralds.
I also love that.
Oh,
I just wanted to point out.
Sorry.
And yes,
go ahead, Justin. I need to get some more ice for my drink.
I wanted to point out. I like that Swindle alt mode is basically a warthog.
right. I mean, and Brawl is just straight up a double barrel tank, which apparently there are tanks like that in the real world.
Yeah, but those are usually anti-aircraft tanks.
Yeah, true. But honestly, I could see that with Brawl. And yes, they do combine into Bruticus, and design-wise, he looks awesome. But we'll save that for later because we got some stuff to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, do we have words?
Anyways.
Okay, yeah.
I guess before we move on to the actual main bad guys, it's like, I guess just real quick, like, who would you say of the Combaticons was your favorite design-wise? Like, on an individual basis.
Ooh, that's a toughie.
Swindle. Like, these guys, I just say Swindle. I don't know why. I mean,
for me, I would agree, Justin. No, I get it, Justin. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Like, I like his. Like, I think it's like a great, again, prime design for Swindle, and also like that the Gatling gun from his vehicle mode is on his shoulders in robot mode.
That is pretty cool. Not gonna lie. For me, I would say it's definitely a toss between Swindle and Vortex.
This is a tough one for me, but
it depends on what day of the week we're on.
Honestly, I can't really just put my finger on one I like the most. They're all solid. They all invoke their characters.
Agreed.
I do like that they do play into more of Vortex being the sadistic one.
Oh yeah, that was
Agreed.
cool. They brought back some of that poshness of G1 Blast Off.
Mm.
Pompous prick.
I appreciate the actors trying to give the false Cybertron voices of Brawl and Swindle. You could clearly tell they were trying to do impressions of Nolan North and Steve Bloom.
They tried.
They tried. Actually, the one guy who did Swindle got
Just
pretty
the
close to
voice.
Steve Bloom.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. He was pretty good.
I was convinced. Onslaught's voice
Yeah.
actor. we'll get to that another. We'll get to that later on. All I can say is not my Onslaught.
To be fair, he also voices several other characters in this movie, but again, we'll talk about more of that later. And also, we're not going to name this person because again, we don't feel like getting copyright struck.
In the wise words of Venom, fuck this guy.
Yep. Anyway, so I guess now we move on to the not terror cons. That's going to be the running joke from now on.
Yeah.
All right.
So we have, so with Galvatron, we have Galvatron, we have Cyclonus, we have Scourge, and Slipstream. Yeah, I don't know why she's here either.
Amazing.
Should we?
Oh,
So we should get the big G out of the way first, or save him for last?
Well, design. Well, again, we're just talking about the designs real quick. So it's like, yeah, design-wise, Galvatron looks solid.
He
Like,
does,
he
but I've
looks
heard a few people.
recolored of. He is kind of a recolored of Prime Megatron, but
Yeah, I've heard a lot of.
It's really
I've heard a
good
couple
to me.
of one of my buddies of mine. He said he would have preferred that they went a little more outside of just making him kind of like a redeco, slight redesign of Galvatron. And I admit I'm kind of two minds on this. Now, on the one hand, yes, I agree. If you're gonna make Megatron and Galvatron separate characters, you should differentiate them just a little bit more. But on the other hand, they are undeniably linked. So I can kind of understand why you took some cues, but I guess you could have
Basically, you're saying they could have done a little more.
a little more, so you don't
Yeah.
really see the skeleton of Megatron in that.
You know what? I'll say
fair,
that's
fair.
actually a fair assessment. But honestly, at the end of the day, it didn't take away from my enjoyment because, at the end of the day, I can at least say, well, at least, yeah, that he looked like Galvatron, and it's like, at least he actually looks more like classic Galvatron, and they didn't just take the not Galvatron design for Megatron from Predacons Rising and just give that a different color scheme and called it a day.
Even though, honestly, that would have worked. It still would have worked for Galvatron.
No, I agree. It's like,
It was
to be fair, I feel like
Galvatron
in
in
Predacon,
everything but name.
yeah, to be like real quick on that can of worms for what anybody, if anybody's curious what we mean by that, it's like, it's over the last few years, it's especially as Transformers has become more and more mainstream, it's pretty clear that Hasbro is wanting to have a consistent core cast of characters, both Autobot and Decepticon, for each new series they do. So as a result, they basically don't want to replace Megatron anymore, and it's why Galvatron, when he does show up, it's in a very limited capacity.
Yeah, I mean, at one point, yeah, that kind of blows, but at the other point, it did give us, eventually having Galvatron as his own character, which IDW utilized impressively.
IDW did it great.
And honestly,
IDW,
even though they're supposed to be the same, when you watch G1, Megatron and Galvatron are anything but the same.
because back in the with the '86 movie, when they promoted Galvatron and before the movie came out, they gave no information about who he was in the movie. They said that he was basically Ultra Magnus's rival on the Decepticon side. He was Megatron's city commander. But then when the movie came out, they basically revealed that no, he was Megatron the whole time. He's Megatron the whole time, and it's like, I just never understood that mindset back then. It's like, because it's like, Hasbro, you clearly had no problem replacing Optimus, so why were you hesitant to replace Megatron? I don't get it.
Check out Chris McFeely's The Basics on Galvatron for more.
Yeah, but we're not here to talk about the '86 movie.
We're here to talk about.
real quick, also, we're not sponsored by Chris McFeely. We're just huge fans of the guy. Seriously, Chris, you're doing
Yeah,
good
dude's
work, man.
awesome.
Like, if you want to learn some interesting factoids about how Transformers has evolved over 40 years, like, dude, Chris McFeely, he is fantastic. Explains
Whether you're a veteran,
everything.
yeah, it's like whether you're a veteran or whether you're new to the franchise, Chris will cover everything for you in a video.
Even us, even us who are huge fanatics about Transformers, we learn something new every day with him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's covered like several obscured characters. So
I love Obscure Characters
I didn't
Month.
know about. Hey. Yeah, me too. But anyway, again, we're not here to talk about that.
All right, so moving on from Galvatron,
no matter how much you want it.
Moving on from Galvatron, I guess we can 2-for-1 it with the Unicron trio, Cyclonus and Scourge. First of all, I'm just gonna say it as an enjoyer of the classic Scourge. Love how they handled him. Love that he's not just a big shoe. Like, they actually did some stuff to his vehicle mode.
Yes, he actually his like vehicle mode actually looks like some kind of aircraft, which in G1 I always thought his vehicle mode looks more like a boat.
I think he was supposed to be a hovercraft before they just decided, the sweeps are just like an aircraft. Which,
yeah, well, originally they were gonna be like ground vehicles meant to were meant for like reconnaissance.
yeah.
I remember there was a video I saw that went over like the original script for the '86 movie, and the sweeps actually has. Well, originally their design wasn't super different. The only differences were the heads, and that they had like one eye heads that acted like scanners.
Ooh, I could see somebody. I've actually seen somebody toy around with that, bringing that original concept back, making the sweeps just drone, basically remote controlled drones.
Looking exactly the same as Scourge.
Scourge. Yeah, that's what I've been thinking.
My friends gave me a little bit of shit for how I pronounce Scourge's name. Like, I don't know, it just sounds more fancy. Scourge. Also, that's how Orson Welles pronounced it, so fuck you.
Yeah,
no, I definitely agree. But yeah, Scourge looks great. I love his design overall. I love that he feels very well proportioned. Cyclonus, okay, this is where I'm kind of 50-50 on, because I do like it, but I also kind of feel like they took a little too much design cues from the classics.
Yeah, admittedly it is just straight up G1 Cyclonus, which, I mean,
I don't see the problem. I like the G1 Cyclonus design.
I'm not saying at all like G1 Cyclonus design is bad. Hell, I have the Kingdom Cyclonus. This thing, by the way, this thing is fucking awesome.
I bet it is.
No, seriously, it is the cleanest transforming jetbot in my entire collection. Sorry, just had to geek out.
Oh, you're good.
All right.
No, it's just, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, Justin. What I'm just saying is, like, I don't know. I just feel like a character like Cyclonus shouldn't feel too bulky.
I think I know what you're saying. Like, you just feel like they use too much of the boxiness of his G1 look, which, I mean, admittedly, if they lent more into the IDW with him on that front, I think it would have worked out really good, especially how skeletal his face was in the comics and those horns.
Dude, IDW Cyclonus is my favorite. IDW Cyclonus is my favorite version of the character.
Yeah.
Agreed. No, I agree.
And then, of course, we have Slipstream.
Actually, I just got one more thing I gotta say. Actually, I gotta say one more thing about Scourge. I appreciate the Hulk Hogan mustache.
Oh yeah.
Also, call me crazy,
still gave him
but
pink fingernails.
Well, actually, they're more like just straight red rather than pink. But I just have one more thing. I would love to hear Corey Barton voice Scourge one day, just like doing his Count Dooku voice. I just think that would work.
Jedi fool.
Hey, you can't go wrong.
That's the best you're gonna get.
Hey,
That's the best you're gonna get out of me.
Hey, hang on. No, I'm being serious. Like, I honestly think giving Scourge a Count Dooku like personality would work. Excuse me.
Anyway, so
all right, now we can move on to Slipstream.
Again, design-wise, I don't have a problem with it.
It's straight
Yeah.
up full of Cybertron, but again, I'm not saying that as a dig.
Yeah. Oh, without
I mean,
the
again,
just to have like the butterfly like wings in robot mode.
Though,
If you remember in the War for Cybertron.
I think, yeah, good point. Like, I think the reason why people call them butterfly wings is because, like, her idol animation had them, like, fluttering a little bit.
Yeah,
yeah.
they did.
I don't
Which
know.
I didn't mind.
I didn't mind either. I don't know. I always loved those, like, little animations. Gave the characters personality.
Damn.
Kept things dynamic. But anyway, like, yeah, Substream, admittedly, it's a little strange having her as one of Unicron's heralds. Considering, I think
Especially-
in like the Alliance novel, she is part of the Decepticons. God, I can't say.
Yeah, she's
I can't say those two words when I've been drinking for some reason.
Yeah, no, it's like, so I guess this is where we're going to start ripping into things a little bit here with this, starting with this one, but it's like,
Wait, hang
yeah,
on.
it's
Is there
just
any?
having-
Are there any other like fun thing, like happy things we want to like say about it? Any other nice things before we just go straight to just just ripping the Band-Aid off and just talking about what happened?
well, we might as well just rip the Band-Aid off and get into it, because like, that really is kind of where the nice things end, because like, I do have things that I want to say that I like, but it's like, the thing is, like, while I like them, there's things about these ideas that I don't like too. It's like this weird catch-22 thing. So we might as well just go ahead and rip the
Okay,
Band-Aid
so
off.
now
boys.
we just go into how this seeming labor of love to the fandom, who was left a little disappointed by RID 15, how it all went to shit.
Which, by the way, people, to give you an idea of like how bad this movie pissed me off, because I did mention that earlier. I told Tom and Justin that I would do this, and I did. The very next night after I got home from work, this was the night after we'd watched this thing. I came home from work, watched Transformers the last night, just to remind myself what a good Transformers movie is supposed to look like. And keep in mind, I don't really like that movie all that much.
Right.
Like, I heard him say that. I'm just like, dude, I thought you were doing a bit.
No. No, I was committed.
I didn't really think you were gonna go through that bit, dude.
Dude, I had to do it as a
Oh my
palate cleanser, because like
God.
don't get me wrong, last night is also shit. But at the very least, shit is happening in that movie.
Oh my God. Yeah, when he told me that,
by the way,
I genuinely thought he was joking.
Another thing that made Tom very happy, folks, is after we got done watching this, I basically pulled a Thanos when it came to RID 15 and said, perhaps I judged you too harsh.
Yeah.
I'll
Pretty
get
much.
used to that.
To
Like,
be-
literally, it's like,
To be
like,
fair, to be fair to RID 15, it wasn't supposed to be a sequel to Prime.
no, it wasn't.
It wasn't originally supposed
No, it wasn't. They basically just decided, hey, let's make it a sequel and basically make it a cash grab because money.
to. Yeah, that's.
That explains a lot.
Yep.
It's like,
Yeah, I was gonna
it's
say
like,
that.
like I said, after Galvatron's Revenge, I basically owed RID. I actually apologized to RID 15. That being said, I just basically pull a Yu-Gi-Oh bridge, looking over at it, going, no, I still don't love you. La.
To the la. No, I still don't love you. No.
Yeah,
Exactly.
All right, so
Poor
I
little
guess.
Curry, though.
Oh, where do we start?
No, I think the main question is where do we stop?
Oh, dear Barbara. So should we? I don't know. Should we break this down Brandon Tenold style and just go over some of the bullshit that happened behind the scenes?
I guess that's a good place to start.
So let's
Yeah.
just wind the clock back all the way back to the magical year of the fuck was this
2014.
announced? 2014.
2014 or 2015. It was one of the two.
Hmm.
Well, no, it would have been 2014
Oh,
because again,
shit.
a decade in the making.
I just
Yeah.
bopped. I got to stop fucking with my mic. I keep bopping it. My bad. But yeah, the YouTube channel Prime Animations, run by a lovely fellow by the name of Carlos, decided he was not too happy about the upcoming sequel and wanted to like step up to the plate and make his own sequel to Transformers Prime. As a fan, you know,
Which again,
the guy had a little bit of experience doing Transformers fan animations.
and again, before we get too deep, keep in mind, folks, we're not trying to hurt nobody's feelings. We're just being brutally honest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, to anyone out there from Prime Animations or their fans that sees us, and just says we're haters, no, trust me. We're not haters. We're just explaining why we were let down by this, and we're just going to be super blunt about it.
Believe me,
We're not
I
trying
think
to...
we can all.
Teenager me was very hopeful for this.
Yeah, I was just
Dude.
gonna say because I think we can all agree that we were all actually kind of looking forward to this when we came across it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just go back to when the first teaser was announced with and we saw, it was clearly fan made, didn't have that Hasbro money behind it, but it clearly had like love to it. It had the DNA to it, and it looked pretty good by all things considered.
Agreed.
Yeah, we saw the trailer, we saw the characters we were gonna have in it. Shit, even there was like a little teaser thing with the Combaticons that looked fantastic.
Still holds up pretty well today, even.
I had to mute my mic. I had a bad sneeze coming by. No, that one hurt.
I'm sorry.
That's all good.
But yeah.
Yeah. As for a couple of other.
Now, well, no, what I'm about to say is probably going to tie into what you're about to say, so keep going.
I mean, like I said, all of us who were just like absolute fans of the aligned continuity, we were stoked for this. Like something that really kind of brought us back to Transformers Prime. I mean, it wasn't too long since the original show ended, but still, this was exciting. But then, so we waited.
We
waited.
And to give credit, and we still waited.
And we kept waiting.
Now, 10 years later. I mean, okay, in all fairness, we would get updates every now and then, just to basically, with, everyone involved, with Prime Animations basically going, hey, it's not dead, guys, we swear.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the long and the short of it.
Now, I'll give credit where it's due. I'll give credit where it's due. Carlos was very open from the beginning in terms of because again, this was, by the way, this also was crowdfunded on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Like this basically this movie ended up getting about almost a little over 14 grand behind it, almost 15 grand. So, and keep in mind, this was back in the day, so that was a lot of money. Just for inflation.
Money that these people will never get back.
We'll get to that.
But yeah, it's like,
right.
I'll give credit where it's due. When it came to where all the money that was being putting it towards the funding was going, Carlos was very open about all that from the beginning. So he wasn't, credit where it was due, he wasn't hiding anything. So make of that what you will, I guess.
I mean, at least he wasn't scamming the absolute hell out of people.
At least he turned out a... Yeah.
So, we're not here to talk about how the funds were allocated, because by all accounts, he was pretty transparent about where the money was going. So, we can't say the guy was, pulling wool over anybody's eyes. What we can say was that clearly there was what I can only describe as the textbook definition of mismanagement.
That's putting it nicely.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay,
but
in
at the
all
same
okay, in
time,
all
it's not
fairness,
wrong.
no, like I said, we are trying to be nice. Like again, trust me, folks. Part of me just wanted to come on here and just roast the ever loving shit out of this, but I'm like, no, no, because there are some things about this that I do like, but I just hated how this ended up turning out. I was let down by this. And like that's where it comes down to. And trust me, and don't worry, we're gonna get into the stuff that I don't like. But again, it's like Tom and Justin are just gonna let me go off the rails here in a little while because they know I got some shit to say, folks.
Yeah, we've
I got
heard it a
more
couple
to
of
say
times,
than
and
I
trust
do.
us,
I do.
he has not run out of gas in that tank.
Oi!
You're gonna say, Justin?
I say he's definitely got more to say than I do. Then again, I didn't really engage in this as much as you guys did because, well, I guess I value my sanity more.
To be
You
fair,
clearly did.
Justin, it
You
just
didn't value my sanity when you made me watch through the holiday special. You piece of shit.
here we go
Well,
with that again.
I came out of that pretty cool, pretty clean.
I didn't come out of that sober.
Good thing I wasn't there
At
for
least we
that.
watched. At least we watched the riff track version.
There was
There.
only so much they could do. And Hunter, you're not getting out of that scot-free either. You're watching that too, fucker.
No, I'm not.
I sat through
Yes, you are.
things. I survived
So did
things.
So did I.
I
You won't-
actually watched things
So did
like
I.
on its own. Oh, you did?
No, I
Okay.
did too. Yeah, I did too. So yeah, I literally survived it. Dude, I survived Roller Gator, even if it was the Rift Tracks version.
Okay, to be fair, we all survived Roller Gator.
Again,
Yeah.
again, easily best joke in that whole thing. You know what? Go to hell.
Actually,
Okay,
that was how
anyway.
you were. Actually, that was how you were feeling at like one point. I mean, I'll get to like some of the hilarious points in the movie later, but I remember one particular thing where you just dipped from the Discord card. You just pulled the rift tracks. Guys, that's it. I'm jumping. Hunter, we're on the first floor.
Yup. Times like this, I wish I lived in a 5-story building.
Oh God.
I'm kidding.
Anyway,
Let's move on.
So, I guess where do we start from here?
Well, I mean, we still got some
let's
post
start with
production.
what is probably
Oh,
Oh,
right.
Yeah,
wanna
we still
go
got
some
some
of the
production stuff.
post-production
So, well, I mean, we'll just speed run through this production stuff. Basically, there were a lot of delays, and one of them was that a lot of the character models were something about some of the character models were just in like an outdated version of Blender, so that took a lot of time, kind of retexturing and updating the models. Black Crown Productions has a good video explaining that. I'll leave a link to that in the description down below.
Yeah, like that one I can't be too mad about because like yeah, that's gonna happen.
Lot of yeah, I mean, I'll be completely honest. Most of like the quote unquote rendered, I'm just gonna be real with you guys. It just felt like turd polishing with some of the some of the quality.
It felt like an unfinished PS1 game. PS2.
it looks like
if I'm
Bubsy
being
3.
nice.
It looks like Bubsy 3D, which put it that way.
Hey, cut Bubsy 3D some slack. That wasn't a bad game. That was just an unfinished game.
Yup. Which is fitting. Which is a fitting comparison, Tom, because this felt unfinished, despite it being a finished product. Okay.
The only difference is that we don't have to pay to watch this. Where Bubsy 3D, you have to pay to get.
Dude,
Yep.
I didn't put a single dime into like the crowdfunding, and I felt like I got ripped off.
I think we all feel that way, buddy. It's like we didn't put any money.
How Commode and Cam feel.
Sorry. Well, not Commode
I
Cam,
heard he.
I thought Diamond Bolt also put some money into this.
Oh, he did, and he also ripped this one a new one.
Yeah, I think I saw
yeah.
that.
Like literally everyone that put money towards this thing has ripped it a new asshole, and for good reason.
Yeah, pretty much everyone from every department has been has been giving their 2 cents how they felt, from the animators to the voice actors, the financial backers. Shit, I think even Carlos's dog is telling him that this is a pile of shit.
Oh yeah, and like the thing, and here's the thing, folks. It's not the fact that Carlos put something out that's bad and not, and just, it's like it'd be one thing if he just put out something that was bad and just, after it got ripped a new one said, "Yeah, I'm sorry guys, this wasn't up to the snuff I wanted it to be. I'm sorry. I will try better in the future." What
In
has
other words,
helped,
he didn't leave well enough alone.
yeah, because what has really hurt this movie even more than it just being an unfinished product, folks, is Carlos's attempts at damage control.
That's putting it tactfully what this guy's trying to do. And just hang on a minute. I'm gonna see if I can. I was gonna see if I can handle. There.
Oh, don't play any. No, don't play any clips from it. You'll get copyright struck.
No, I was just trying to. No, I was just trying to see if I could activate some noise suppression.
Okay.
Oh, that is so much better. That is so much better. I can act like there is like no feedback. I should have been doing this months ago. I'm a
Better,
fool.
better late than never.
Yep.
Well, sometimes
So,
you learn these things as you go along.
so
Yes.
I guess so. Anything else we need to speed run real quick before we just get into the nitty gritty?
Should we
Uh,
talk about one of the most controversial elements
well, I guess that
behind the
is sort of
scenes?
the elephant in the room, which is one particular voice actor, he who shall not be named.
Again, yeah, he who must not be named. All I can say is if you've seen stuff from like Johnny Flash and stuff, people, or seen like certain Transformer stop motions, you know who this guy is. He's voiced Optimus Prime quite a few times.
Speaking of Johnny Flash, he's back.
Is he now?
Yeah, I showed you guys. I linked you guys that video in the Discord. Like, he's coming back.
Yeah, I saw it, and it's like, oh, good.
Oh,
Yeah, started Indiegogo on his most ambitious project, and that will also be in the description down below. Put your money towards somebody who has a good track record of Transformers fan films.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, sure, Johnny's got his own skeletons in his closet, but compared to some other people, he's not
Dude,
that bad, people.
dude, after this shit, all is forgiven.
Amen, amen to that,
I'm
brother.
just being flat out. All is fucking forgiven.
Yeah, agreed.
It's not the. As far as this is hardly the worst YouTube scandal you could possibly have. I've seen worse. We're not going to get into those, otherwise this will be hours. But no, anyway, the one particular voice actor. I'm not going to get into too much detail. All I can say is that I am surprised this motherfucker can chew gum while walking.
Again, chances are some of you probably know who it is, but like I said, we're not naming names because I can't say this for certain, but I think he has copyright struck people who have talked crap about him in the past. So again, we're not going to give this person ammunition.
All I can say is to Mr. Christ is King is that for somebody who is so advocate for the big J himself, you sure don't seem to like the group that progenerated fuck. You know what I mean?
Progenerated it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, speaking as a man of faith myself, I do not claim this man as a brother in Christ because holy shit.
I'm not religious, and I'm pissed off.
Yeah, it's that bad, people. Don't believe us? Go check out his Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but I mean, all I can say to the anti-Semites out there, Jesus was Jewish.
And
Fuck
Jesus was a
you.
carpenter.
That's all I can say. Jesus is Jewish. Jesus was Jewish.
Yeah.
The comment section.
Just Jay and Silent Bob. Did you know that Jesus was a Jew? Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
So, anyway, baiting my comment section for some schizo shit aside, this has led to a byproduct of something very funny, which is this guy and Carlos basically having a competition for who can throw one under the biggest bus.
supposedly
boy.
Carlos has
This
no,
should be
supposedly Carlos has said that he will not be working with this person in the future. I'll believe that when I see it.
Apparently, they were
Yeah,
pretty
'cause
buddy
they
buddy
didn't
during
stop you the first time.
Apparently,
Did
these two
stop you
were
the first time.
Yeah, but apparently these two were pretty buddy buddy during the unrendered like watch along that Carlos live streamed a while back, like a month before the fully rendered. And I use that term loosely.
About it is fully rendered.
Yeah, before the like, just imagine me doing like the Doctor Evil quotes, fully rendered, version of his project, was released to YouTube in December last year. And like proof of that is that apparently the voice actor went onto the Fire Brothers watch along of this movie and tried to cover his own ass on how Carlos was handling this.
Because of course he did.
So it has been rather hilarious because number one, this has shined a spotlight on that piece of shit, and like I'm not going to say I was preying on this guy's downfall, but I'd be a lying bastard if I said I just didn't like that the universe decided to throw me a bone with this.
Again, this is why I believe in karma. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, it's like you said, Tom. It's like just when you think you've already uncovered the full story, the plot thickens.
Yeah, I believe it, Hunter. I believe it was Hunter. I believe it was you that was saying they were having this constant spat on like Twitter.
Yeah, like apparently, because like I was brought to attention through a YouTube video covering it. Was like, yeah, they were apparently going back and forth on Twitter as to like you know, so and so would say something, Carlos would respond and say no, it was so and so, and it's like literally they have just been slinging mud at each other this entire time, and it's like, it's honestly all I've been staying out of it. I'm just watching from the sidelines eating popcorn.
Just watching the
insert Michael Jackson
right?
eating popcorn. I'll make sure to add that in post.
Do you even know what that means?
Hey, I fuck you, man. I've learned how to do that.
I'm just messing.
I already made that joke before we started.
I know, but I'm just saying. I know what that means. I actually do it now.
I know, it's all good, man.
Speaking of which, check out my last fully edited Genshin Impact video. Just it'll be somewhere. It should be easy to find. Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
Fuck you. Anyways, fuck you. I worked hard on that.
Oh, you did.
Anyway, can we just say that the whole drama behind the scenes drama that's being unfurled here is basically kind of like the equivalent of if you could say, watch a train wreck where it's like you don't want to look at it, but you can't.
Honestly, this reminds me of all the bullshit that happened with like the island of Dr. Moreau.
Yeah, it's like the behind the scenes drama is more fascinating than the movie itself.
Basically, the only way I can describe how Carlos is handling this is the same way EA handled the disaster of Battlefield 2042. Like, Carlos, my man, click any button but the fucking record button. Like, for your own sake.
Like, it's like, Carlos, brother, please just stop.
Yeah, I mean,
just goodness gracious, your attempts at damage control are not helping because you are literally shifting the blame to everyone but yourself.
This is like he's trying to plug the hole in the Titanic with a fucking RPG.
I think you could do that in GTA Online now.
Modded,
don't know,
maybe.
man.
I'm just saying I'd do it. Anyways.
Of course you would. All right, so I guess we've been stalling for time enough. Should we just get into the movie itself? If we're gonna get to the movie itself, I need more tequila.
Oh, stay your
just get-
hands.
So, I guess do we talk about the biggest issue with this movie and just get it out of the way because it's the thing I had the most issue with?
Are we all
Got
thinking
the
the
clip
same thing?
in the. I got the clip in the generals. I put the clip in the general section.
Actually, hang on. I have a nice succinct way to hang on. Let me just oh fuck, hang on. Hang on. So let me just save this as noise reduction so I don't have all this feedback.
There you go.
Fuck, I forgot to hang on, I gotta name it.
All right.
Noise reduction. There. I think that saved. By the way, I just wanted to make sure I get the soundboard up. Let me check OBS.
All right.
All right.
Damn it, the noise reduction. Damn it, why is the... Oh, I had to turn on the voice changer. Is my voice still normal?
Yeah, you sound normal.
Yes.
All right,
Yep.
just checking. So just the soundboard, and I guess the best way to describe the feeling of watching this. What? What the fuck? Did that come out clean?
I probably did on your end. Because I couldn't hear it, but that's okay. We'll worry about that in post.
Yeah.
All right. Now my question is, do you guys know what that means?
Anyways.
All right, moving on. Let's just address the elephant in the room with what this movie did.
Or what it didn't do.
And that's shut the fuck up.
Folks, the best way to sum up 90% of this movie, and because we can use this joke because we use this clip, stop talking!
Damn it! Now you're gonna make me have to. I just for anyone who's curious, I couldn't find that clip on voice mod, and I was so fucking disappointed. Maybe I'll add it in post.
Voice mod, you had one job. Technology. Anyways, but yeah. Now, there's a reason I wanted to start with this one first, folks, because as someone who enjoys movies and shows for what they are, visual storytelling, this movie breaks the cardinal sin. It commits the cardinal sin of visual telling, and that's show, don't tell the audience. This movie breaks that fucking rule so much that I honestly feel like it should have just been a dramatic fanfic reading.
Yes. It's just every time it's like they're saying something or describing something. It's like they never shut up. I can't even remember any moments where there's like no dialogue.
I actually
I can't
timed
think
one
of
of the
any.
exposition.
That's
I actually timed one of the exposition dumps. That whole spiel with Galvatron explaining shit to the other heralds solely for an exposition dump. I timed this. That was 4 fucking minutes. I actually timed that whole scene. It was 4 goddamn minutes of Galvatron giving a fucking just splurge of information. I could genuinely recall like lectures in high school from classes I didn't give a shit about what better than any of that crap.
Yeah, that's, and again, this, now to be fair, and Justin was the one that brought this up, and it's a good point. To be fair, credit where it's due, that's an easy mistake to make, but even still, holy crap, Carlos, like,
You know,
you don't.
Oh, go ahead.
You don't need. Again, you are supposed to show the audience, not tell us everything. We can see what's going on. Our eyes are working.
You know what?
That
What's
Clone
funny?
High
Oh,
clip. It's like that Clone High clip. It's like, I have eyes, they're right under my eyes.
It's funny. Like, I did some digging in on my DE. I found like the old prediction review, whatever you want to call it, of Galvatron's Revenge, like way back in January before it finally released on December. Like checking out the unrendered clips. And as I just kept watching and watching and watching, I just had this pit in my stomach of, oh, are we in trouble?
In other words, folks, to take a quote from Jontron, oh no.
I was trying. Now, I will grant, like, for a while, I was like, okay, maybe I'm not the best person to give a review on this. I was like, okay, admittedly, I have a chip on my shoulder on this whole project. I may be being way too harsh. Other people may not have these same problems, so I kind of made that a point of saying, this is merely my opinion. And I just do not have a lot of hope. But I'm hoping, like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there'll be stuff, like, changed come the final product. And it'll turn out great. Like, I was just not going to watch this out of personal issues. I'm not going to get into that. I had nothing to do of like the production of this project. I want to make that very clear.
None of us did.
That's a completely other story. I do not want to get into it. But just know, I was just decided, you know what, I can't enjoy this, but I hope other people do. So I was genuinely hoping that, like, this could actually. And then it came out, and the internet collectively decided
it was bad.
My internet got disconnected for a little bit.
Oh, it's fine.
It happens, buddy.
So on the one hand, I'm like, damn, I was actually hoping Carlos can pull a win out of this. But another, I felt like a bridge cooler of, well, I do hope somebody picks up that phone.
Because I fucking called it.
No, I could do it because I called it.
Yeah. I mean, what was it? When you were doing that, you were live streaming it.
Yeah.
I think there was like one point where I just typed in the comments. I'm just like, does anyone ever stop talking?
No, they don't stop talking.
And that's the problem.
By the way, to everyone who caught that live, you're a G.
Exactly. Now, the reason why, as connoisseurs of visual storytelling that we are, folks, at least we like to think we are.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, the reason this just bugs us is because, again, the reason you have here's the thing about exposition dialogue in a movie. Yes, even a fan film, because that still counts. And again, I am saying this, that in the case Carlos or anyone else watches this, you will take this criticism to heart in a good way and use it to improve yourself. Because contrary to what some people might think, I don't want anyone to fail unless they really are just a horrible person. Like, Carlos, I don't want you to fail. I want you to get better. Okay? So getting that out of, just saying that right now. But yeah, it's like one of the things about visual storytelling is that when you're going to have exposition dialogue, you need to have it in the story in a way that it's precise and to the point and doesn't feel intrusive. And again, that's the biggest issue with this movie. The exposition dialogue is constant to the point where it is very intrusive, and it takes you out of the action when there's supposed to be action. And it's like to be it's like I feel like Peter Griffin. It's like for God's sake, somebody throw a pie.
It gets maddening. It gets maddening to the point of I don't know which of these is the Tom and Jerry scream I want to use, but I think it's this one. I told you I was going to use this soundboard during this episode of the podcast, and God damn it, I'm going to use it.
Because I'm watching Family Guy, and damn it, I'm going to watch it. Anyways, though. Anyways. But yeah, it's like this, it really is just maddening. It's like, and some people are like, well, there's exposition dialogue in Transformers Prime. It's like, yeah, but again, it's not intrusive to what's going on visually. One of the best examples, if you boys will allow me. One of my personal favorite examples.
Go ahead, Hunter. You're on the driver's seat.
All right. So one of my favorite examples of this in Prime is during the Unicron Rising season 1, 3-part season 1 finale, when Optimus is explaining the history of Primus, Unicron, and the 13. Now, yes, he's explaining everything so that the human characters, and by extension, we, the audience, have an idea of, what happened millennia ago. But the dialogue is precise and to the point, and it doesn't bog itself down with all these unnecessary details. It is precise and to the point because it is allowing the visuals to tell the story. That is how you're supposed to do it. Hell, I'll even do one better, folks. Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, the flashback scene where Jetfire explains the history of the Primes and the Fallen and what led to them going to war with each other. Does that better than this movie?
You heard that live, folks.
That's really
we're actually giving Michael Bay some vindication.
Yeah, by the way, also I just want to say this now. After seeing this, I don't want to hear anyone ever talk shit about the Bayverse again.
I'll be honest. I feel less bad about saying Revenge of the Fallen is my guilty pleasure watch because at least that one has the best fight scene in the movies.
Yep.
Anyways,
though, but so yeah, it's like a good example, or to bring up another example of how you can do exposition dialogue well in your movie, is a personal favorite of mine and Justin, and that's the original Ghostbusters.
Yes.
The original Ghostbusters has the characters explaining all of this paranormal scientific BS, but it delivers it in a way where, again, it is precise and to the point, and it feels like it's naturally part of the story, and it doesn't take you out of the moment. Like, hell, Ghostbusters even plays into this where it's like, Venkman straight up says, Ray, just for once, pretend I don't know any of this shit and just tell me what the hell is going on.
You know what? We need to watch the original Ghostbusters at some point.
Hell yeah.
Damn it, now the Ghostbusters theme is in my head, and I don't want to hum it because I know I'm going to get my nuts crushed. And just like that, this video goes.
Oh, come on. We're not singing it very well, so you won't get demonetized. You'll still get your ad rev.
What? Ad rev? If I wanted ad rev, I'd be recording Genshin Impact, not this shit.
Yeah, apparently.
You know what? Apparently anime sells.
Yeah. Even though it's not really anime, because it's made by a Chinese company. But does it still count as anime?
It feels like
Asian. It's Asian. It's close enough. Oh, I'm gonna get some
fucking racist. You fucking racist. No, just kidding.
I'm about to say I'm gonna get some shit for that one.
No, but it's yeah, it's technically a Chinese game, Justin, but it's like the visual style and the feel of Genshin is very anime. So you know what? Hey, all I'm saying is like if Ruby as a Western property can count as an anime, so can this. Damn it!
If it looks
Yeah, I
like a
guess
bunny and it hops like a bunny, it's a fucking bunny.
Really,
And
I
it's
thought it was a
rabbit
duck.
season.
Anyways,
All right, where the fuck were we? Oh yeah, the
based
expository dialogue.
like there are just like the scene like with Galvatron explaining like how the not Terracons came to be. First of all, that's bullshit.
Yeah, I do agree. I kind of like the idea of just like the dynamic is that Galvatron can only create and I mean,
You mean
fuck, fuck,
Unicron?
god damn it. You know what I know what I meant, okay?
Yeah, but so yeah, it's like no, I agree with you. It's like after seeing this, like yeah, it doesn't really make sense for him to. I guess like some people would argue it's like, well, he created Galvatron and them in the original '86 movie. It's like, yeah, but that wasn't like straight up creating new life. That was just taking what was already there and just
Basically
remolding
Reading
corrupting
it.
it.
life that was already there. Just think he's basically space Satan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's corrupt. I mean, don't get me wrong. The idea of Unicron creating his own anti-primes, which also that name is just stupid as fuck. I'm just gonna say it.
Like that felt like the workshop name they were going with. Like honestly, as storytellers ourselves, boys, that we've all had like those workshop names we've had. Like, all right, this is just something we're using until we can come up with something better, but it's a name we can use as we are creating. So we can keep things
Exactly.
organized.
Yeah.
Also, apparently, folks, but there weren't just supposed to be 4 Destructicons. There were supposed to be 13. Thank God there isn't.
Yeah, I guess he ran out of the budget for that one.
Right? It's like, why aren't there 13?
Or
Because
out
the
of
budget wouldn't allow it.
or creativity, or he ran out of creativity.
No, I
Never
mean that's a
had
good
that.
thing. He didn't fuck up any more beloved Decepticons.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like that whole scene with Galvatron explaining that is a good example, Tom, because like my God, like 4 minutes. Holy
I mean, I don't think
hell.
I don't think the exposition scenes in say Lord of the Rings went that long.
No.
And even then, J.R.R. Tolkien's words in the book, they are fucking. They are. I'm just gonna say it. They're better than sex. Tolkien's words are better than sex. Fight me.
You heard it here, folks.
I was using the movies for example.
Oh yeah, like whenever Gandalf is explaining stuff, like especially like oh my god, just especially the way the actor reads the lines.
Yes.
We need to stop. I'm
Oh.
gonna start fucking drooling. I'm so glad you guys introduced me to Lord of the Rings. I'm just gonna say that.
You're welcome. Yeah, I was just saying.
Sorry.
I'm just saying because again, like go back to what you were saying about like good ways to do exposition. For
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
well, like for one, like unlike this film, the exposition isn't like every like 30 seconds.
Yup.
Like that's another thing that I think like I know a lot of people give Prime like the show Prime crap for like having exposition dumps. But again, at least they have the exposition dumps in areas where I feel like it's needed. And that's
Exactly.
another important thing about exposition is like you need to place your exposition dumps carefully.
Exposition. Let's just be
And
honest.
if
Exposition dumps. They're going to happen. But the way you present it and where it can really make a difference. Because admittedly, like if you're working on visual media, there is only so much you can do, like for whatever reason. I mean, even Jendy Tartakovsky, a guy famous for being able to write entire stories without a single word of dialogue, even he has had to like stop and explain stuff.
Exactly.
yeah.
I mean, even he has had to do that on some of his mediums.
Exactly.
I'm glad you
Doesn't
guys
do it a whole
appreciate
lot.
my my example of Gen D.
Yeah,
Indeed.
no problem.
But I agree. It's like it's not the fact that there's exposition dumps that's the problem, people. It's the fact that there's way too many of them in rapid succession, way too much in this movie.
And some of the times, again, go back to the whole how again nobody stops talking here. This is the part where they're just talking when they don't need to be talking.
Exactly. Like they're just
Especially the
moments where,
fight scenes. They turned the fight scenes into a fucking turn-based strategy game, and not even a good
Yeah,
one.
yeah, it's like not even a good one like Fire Emblem. I mean, okay, that's
where
more
it's
of a
good way of
JRPG.
describing it.
I mean, to be fair, that's a JRPG, but same thing.
Yeah,
It's like
No,
I
the
suddenly
point-
I suddenly know exactly how Arnold felt in Kindergarten Cop.
shut up!
Shut up! Shut up!
That is
And
exactly how we felt too.
yeah, and I mean, we're just keeping it vague, but we'll get into details. But I mean, oh my god, I have never seen a Transformers medium that actually made the robot fighting fucking boring.
Especially because it's not even fighting; it's just characters like slapping each other. I have
It's,
seen stop, folks. It's no exaggeration. We've watched stop motions with better fight scenes.
I actually had to go back and watch the War for Cybertron trilogy just to remind myself what a good fight scene looks like.
Fun fact: we also
It
don't
just
really like that one either.
Hey, if you're allowed to have your spicy text on what's good Transformers media, so am I.
I know. I'm just busting you. I just busted your nuts, dude.
take it personal.
I know, but nothing's nearly as funny. I got a tangent, and I gotta take this vindication too. You admitted to apologizing to RID 15. One of the best things we did, and I wish I fucking recorded this, was the moment you said we should watch the Attack of the Clones because that's actually a good movie. And Justin, if you word for word, you said good movie. Actually, this is better than the Galvatrons Revenge, so I'll give you that one. I just
Yeah,
love like you and I
yeah,
were just faking like having beef over that.
God, I wish we were recording. That was funny.
I just had to get that tangent out of the way because I was like, yes, vindication.
Good movie. Actually, you know what? No, that would be better than this piece of shit.
That's
Never mind.
that's the thing about this movie. It literally made us apologize to stuff we don't like. It's that
Yeah.
bad.
Wait, what? What
It
stuff
really
that
is.
I'm trying to remember what I apologized to during this.
Good question.
Oh yeah.
Oh, actually,
I think
I
we did.
remember now. When I was watching it and they did that one, it was like that one fucking finger quote transformation of the heralds when they arrived to Earth. I think I literally just said, "Oh, I literally just thought to myself, wow, I owe Beast Machine's transformations an apology. I'm not bullshitting."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like they don't even
Oh
like to
yeah.
give context. People, they don't transform. They just flip
Fucking
from jet to
morph.
robot.
They just
Yeah, they
fucking
just morph.
Power Rangers morph between Beast and Robot mode. And I'm just like,
Yeah,
who
between
the
vehicle
fuck
and
signed off on that?
And not even that, and not only do they morph into robot mode, they just T-pose down to the ground.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, there's what
Not like
I apologize to
That
Beast
was-
Machines. Justin apologized to the Attack of the Clones at least, and Hunter apologized to RID 15.
Yep. Oh my god. So I guess not to hammer this point home too much. I guess we move on to the next talking point.
What talking point?
Anyone want to go? Anybody? Anyone want to take a stab at the dark for this one?
Anyone? Bueller?
Oh. Bueller. Bueller.
Bueller.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, I guess. All right, well, tell you what, I'll go. Number one, because it's my show. And number two, I remember some of the order of operations, kind of. Bear with me, I've been
All right.
drinking. All right, so I guess we just start. Do we start with the double title card?
No, is that that's of all the sins this movie commits, that one's one of the more forgivable
That was
ones.
the one I really wanted. I wish I started editing way sooner because I could have done like the deadbeat title card. And then wait, what the fuck? I already did the title card bit. God damn it.
Yeah, it's like Carlos, it's like he needed admittedly it was funny because like apparently you need a title card for the title card.
But okay, here's a fun drinking game you can play with the beginning of that movie. Just take a shot every time Onslaught says, "Don't let the Autobots escape," because you'll be in the perfect condition to watch the rest of that movie.
Oh,
There are a lot of. That's another thing about the dialogue. It's just so repetitive. They say a lot of the same shit like so many times.
Oh yeah, that's one more thing we gotta talk about, the dialogue. No bullshit, guy. Have you ever had like a high school or a college assignment where they had a word count and you had to find a way to just fucking stretch out a sentence with different words so you could reach that word count? I'm just gonna be flat out. I'm guilty of it. You're guilty of it. We're all probably guilty of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like we've all done that because like for some reason like teachers just don't want things to be described succinctly. So we just gotta find a way to just expand, for lack of a better word. And
In other
yeah,
words, you can't have it be too short.
it's like we're gonna get this to feature length, and we're gonna get this to feature length. God damn it!
Yeah, that feels like the thought process when it came to writing the dialogue for this. Is like we're gonna get this to feature length if it kills us.
And boy, did it almost kill the audience. Carlos, just for future reference, you don't need to pass the hour mark to be considered feature length. 40 minutes will do just fine.
Yeah, that's no bullshit, by the way, people. We actually Google fact checked that.
I mean, hell. I think like a lot of these scenes would have been better if they removed most of the pointless dialogue.
There are literally points where, like, I remember Galvatron in particular just saying the same fucking thing, just in a different sentence structure.
I must revive my master. I will revive my master at all costs. My master must be revived.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was maddening.
It was annoying. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, even Prime never got this repetitive. Hell, I'll even say it. G1 was never this repetitive with its dialogue.
And this was an 80s cartoon we're talking about.
Oh yeah, we're going there, people. We're throwing all the shade.
That could actually be another like fun topic we talk about during the podcast, just like how TV shows are structured episode wise in general. But we'll save that for another time.
Indeed. But yeah, it's like the dialogue. I guess in a way this kind of fits in with the dialogue. It's like the voice acting. It's like it ranges from could have been better to decent to oh god, are they even trying?
I guess a good point we can point at is RC, which her voice actress herself probably was trying to do the best job she could, but something happened either with her equipment or like the audio capture software or something where it just eventually sounded like she was trying to broadcast from the other side of the world, like trying to record her lines with a fucking walkie-talkie in Chernobyl. I gotta give credit to Brush Ranger for that joke.
Yeah. But no, seriously, it really is that bad, folks. Like again, kudos to the voice actors for RC, RC, not RC. What the fuck?
I've been drinking.
Sorry.
What's your excuse?
I don't know. Like, okay, credit again. Let me try that again. Credit where it's due to the voice actress for RC. She is trying to do the best she can. It's just, I definitely think poor girl needed better equipment to record with because there are points where it's like, there's points where it's fine, and then there's points where it sounds like she's going through a freaking tunnel.
I actually
Oh
made that. I
yeah.
actually remember making the joke when we were watching it of like this is like if I ever wanted to do like comedies, like a comedy behind the scenes thing with like all the
Where
characters
it's
that
just
were in the movie. Like RC just says, yeah, she was like suffering like a really bad like cold, like a really bad sickness, and her throat was just all messed up. She tried to call for like a sick day, like, hey, I can't really come in for shooting. I'm not feeling the best. And Carl's like, no, keep rolling.
hell. I feel like we could make a rip. I feel like we could make a rip tracks version of us with this movie, just making jokes geez, RC sounds like she should have taken a sick day.
I've always
Keep
wanted us to do
rolling.
our own like Mystery Science Theater 3000 kind of thing. That could be a fun thing to like edit together.
I
Dead
always
by for
wanted to
spit
do
take.
that too.
Like,
Spit
okay,
take
like I guess I'll just leave this in the comments. If you guys really want me to like take a stab at it doing something like that, just like make a highlight reel of our best kind of riff tracks slash Mystery Science Theater at this movie. Just let us know. That genuinely would be fun to do.
I'd be down for it when I have the time.
Yeah, we could just like I could just send you guys some different scenes I want to riff, and we could just come up with some jokes.
right.
Try. Anyways, moving on. So, uh, yeah, like, okay, I guess we could get into like again, because the one voice actor who again we will not name
Yes.
for reasons.
Anyone
He
who's not
voices
familiar with
several.
this movie, they're gonna think, did fucking Voldemort work on this project? No,
Might
worse.
as well be.
Yeah, it's like
Well,
okay,
actually, they're
I'll
both
give credit.
racist, but different kind of racist. And
Yeah,
when we say
I guess
racist, no, we're not talking like we're not talking Reddit definition of racist. No, we're
we mean
talking fucking racist.
straight up a white supremacist people. Like not even like I'm not even bullshitting.
To quote the Russian Badger, the fire hose of racism, the big gulp of racism. Like
Yep.
with full on Call of Duty, like early 2000s Call of Duty lobby racism.
The only difference is unlike Russian Badger, this guy isn't that funny.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I've spoken my piece. Go on ahead.
I guess credit where because again he does voice several characters in this movie. Credit where it's due because he voices Ultra Magnus. Like, yeah, admittedly, it is basically his Optimus Prime voice, but it's like to be fair, I felt like he was at least trying his decent best to, sound like Michael Ironside.
Even if they just got somebody who did like a Robert Stack's impression, I would have been okay with it.
Yeah.
But
Honestly, I will like again. This guy does not deserve any praise, but honestly, I did feel his Magnus voice did at least sound a little closer to Michael Ironside.
yeah, but I mean, I just was not jiving. I get now. Don't get me wrong. I totally get what they were trying to do with Magnus' character, kind of soften up his edges, make him not so much of a rigid military leader.
Yeah, basically they're
But at the
trying to make
same time,
him
I
the
think they
Optimus.
tried too hard to make him more Optimus-like.
Yeah, to the point where it's like no joke, people. There's literally like a scene where he has like what 3 heroic speeches back to back, and you're like, it just frustrates you. You're like, you're not Optimus Prime. Stop acting like it.
That was the
Yeah.
joy about Matt. Like, even though he does share like the season 1 and 2 body, he was his own character.
Well, Magnus has always been his own character, but still, I get the point.
Yeah, I'm like just so
Yeah.
like. I mean, I get it. You're trying to soften up the edges, but I mean, if you're gonna do that, go with G1 Magnus. God damn it!
Right? This felt
Mhm.
less like that, and this just felt more like Magnus really trying his best to be Optimus Prime because Optimus isn't here for this movie until the very end. Oh, don't worry, we're gonna have some shit to say about that.
Oh yeah, I have a joke about that, but I'm gonna leave that one in the tank. Justin, do you have any
Yeah,
thoughts?
we're
Well, I actually thought the guy playing Knockout wasn't that bad.
I was pretty close to
Look at-
Dean Norris. I'm cool with that.
Oh, I am too. Like I didn't
guy,
think he wasn't too bad.
Here's the
guy playing
weird.
Bumble.
Oh yeah, I'll be honest about the guy playing Bumblebee. It sounded like more he was trying to do Leon Kennedy.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like he was
The
really
guy
trying to
playing
pull up the Metasatron. I finally said that without grinning. It only took like three. It only took like 3 tequila tonics.
yeah, but
Metasatron.
also can't really say much to the guy voicing Smokescreen. Well, for one, he's not really giving much to work with here.
Yeah, Smokey really had
And
no reason to be in this movie anyway, considering Hot Rod was here.
Why do you always gotta be mean to my boy?
I'm just
I
saying.
Fuck you.
I mean, hey, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying it's not our fault. It's the fucking creator's fault.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, it's, to be fair, I say that because literally Smokescreen has no reason to be here because he really has nothing to do.
Yeah,
And to be
exactly.
completely honest, they really fucked with how creative Smokescreen usually is with the phase shifter compared to the show.
Yeah, here he is a bump. Well, to be fair, almost all the characters in some capacity in this movie are bumbling idiots.
Speaking about the voice acting abroad, I don't know. It's kind of jarring how sometimes it's like, okay, some of these characters are at least trying to match the original voice cast to just like, fuck it, I'm just using my normal voice. And look, it was sometimes a little jarring. Even like the G1 voice cast, they would try sometimes to like differentiate their voices.
I mean, for crying out loud, Peter and Frank Welker and even Chris Latta were gold at doing that.
Oh,
Well, they
that
voiced several characters in the original G1.
I mean,
a lot of
like
a lot
Chris
of the
Latta,
cast
for
voiced
crying out
several
loud.
characters.
Oh yeah, but like think about it. Like Chris Latta voiced Starscream and Wheeljack, and yet they sound so different you wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Optimus and Ironhide, both voiced by Peter Cullen. Frank Welker's in fucking everything.
Because he's Frank fucking Welker.
Yes. I think
And
the
even,
guy has a bigger resume on his IMDb page than Mel Blanc.
I mean, like the only one who like really struggled in differentiating voices, and yeah, I don't say this to be a dick, is Casey Kasem. Because admittedly, Blue Streak and Cliff Jumper, you could clearly tell, same guy.
Yeah.
Well, he also voiced Teletran 1, and you couldn't tell it was him.
I know, but I mean, I mean, again, that like even if he was the weakest, still like going from Teletran to those two, you would never tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with Tom. It's like there are just moments in G1 where Blue Streak just kind of sounds more like a higher pitched Cliff Jumper, and it's like, I don't know, Casey. I think you could have done a little better with differentiating them, my guy.
I mean, they both kind of have that New York accent.
True.
Then again, maybe Casey Kasem did have a New York accent.
Honestly, they sound more like they're from Boston.
I actually believe Casey. I don't think Casey Kasem. No, I actually think he's from Detroit. I could be wrong.
Either way, it's a city boy accent.
Exactly. It's a northeastern accent.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
Fuck you.
No, I'm just saying you could be Cliff Jumper.
Hey, I'd be cheaper to hire than The
Anyway.
Rock.
Yeah.
There you go. Anyways,
Speaking of which, I'm just thinking
So-
Cliff. Oh, we'll get to. Oh, that reminds me of another joke I can make with Cliff, but we'll save that for when we get to the big scene we have an issue with.
mm-hmm.
Which is
If you know, you know.
We'll get
Yeah.
to it.
Anyways,
Indeed.
so yeah, it's like it is clear that some of the voice actors for this project, again, I will always give credit where it's due for the majority of them. They are trying their best to make it work. Like, I will never say otherwise. It's like they're trying to make it work. But it's like there are just, like I said, it's why I said, like, folks, it's like why I said, folks, like some of the voice performances they range from okay to wasn't too bad to oof, man, they are really having an off day today, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I think a good example is Slipstream, and it's like, okay, here's the thing. I get what they were trying to go for with Slipstream, I really do. But just like they're basically trying to make her the new Arachnid for this, and it's like The problem is that she doesn't come off as evil, at least not in the way they're trying to. She just comes off as just mean girl.
Like just like a catty British exchange student in a Disney
Like,
movie.
I think easily, yeah, it's like one of my favorite lines from her.
Like
just because it's so
a direct to
hilariously
TV
bad.
Disney movie, and not even the
Nope.
good ones.
Can I continue?
Hey, you teed me up. I had to knock him down. Okay.
No, I get it. Like, I think easily one of my favorite lines from her, just because of how hilariously bad it is where during the final battle when she says, I think it's to Hot Rod she's saying this to. She says, "Why are you all so pathetic?" And I'm like, I think we were all just like, I don't think that was in the script. I think the voice actors for Slipstream is literally just trying to figure out what the hell they're all doing in this movie.
We had several moments where it's just like, wow, the voice actors were really just trying to tell Carlos what they thought of the script, and they just kept it in.
It's like, yeah, it's like, yeah. Why do I get the feeling that some of this shit was just the voice actors just taking a dig where they could?
Actually, speaking of which, the voice actor, the guy who did Wheeljack was actually pretty close to Prime Wheeljack.
Too bad Wheeljack in this movie got fucking nerfed.
A lot of people got fucking nerfed. We will get to one character that absolutely boiled my piss. I believe is I believe what the British saying is.
Nope. So,
I know you said you wanted reserves for your rants, but you gotta give me that one for that one character they fucked over because, oh boy, is it personal.
Oh, I bet it is.
Continue.
I guess like we could just go and I guess we could just rapid fire like what we think of the voice performances for each of the characters in
I'm just gonna get this out of the way. Magnus, Galvatron, one character we'll get into that was in this movie later, and who was number 4? Onslaught. We don't talk about that Jim Crow motherfucker.
Yeah, it's like admittedly they all just sound way too similar to each other, and it's like again, it's like my guy, you've got to try better at, switching it up a little bit. My good lord.
Justin, anything to add? Any characters you thought could have used some work?
Well, it'd be spoilers if I don't know if it would be spoiling anything.
If it's about who we think, it's like I think we should save that because again, we have some things to say about that.
Okay, yeah, it's probably just.
Oh! I just remembered. Like, I have to bring this. We have to bring this up because oh my god, this just had us like, this hurt our brains hearing this line from Onslaught people. Is when there's literally a line. There is
wait! Before you say it, let me just get the. Okay, I got the line ready.
Okay, like there is literally a point in the movie when RC, Bulkhead, and Wheeljack arrive on Earth, and they, along with Springer and Hieronymus, go out to what is supposed to be a hole at a construction site, which is another, it's another hole that leads to Unicron. Big freaking surprise. And they get ambushed, and by ambush they mean they have fucking Mixmaster thrown at them. No, I'm not kidding. It's literally the same cement truck from Revenge of the Fallen as Mixmaster, which that was a fun little Easter egg, admittedly. But anyways, and then Onslaught says to RC as she's lying on the ground after moving out of the way from getting crushed, such lovely curves wasted on an Autobot. Literally, we all just kind of like record scratch pause sound effect of what?
That's literally how I asked. That's literally just everyone who heard that for the first time. Just thank you, Lego Yoda.
Yeah, it's just it's like
cringe level in your cringe meter. My cringe meter exploded.
It really did because I'm like, like that. Not gonna lie, I think that was the line that made me disconnect and reconnect after a few
No, no,
seconds.
no,
I'm
no.
like,
It was a
no.
line Knockout said. We'll get to that line later.
Oh yeah, because we
But
have some things to say
that
about
was hilarious.
Knockout.
You actually stayed for a good while, where you actually made me kind of sweat. I was like, bro, you haven't reacted
I
that. You haven't reacted to that since we watched. Since I introduced you to one book. I'm not going to get into details, but we recorded it. I just never posted it because you requested it.
yeah, because no, I don't want any part of that.
I mean, I don't know if this does well.
Anyway.
Maybe I'll post that clip.
God dang it.
Oh, come on, that was you
Why-
gotta admit that was
why am I-
pretty damn funny.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer.
All right.
Anyways, but yeah, it's just that line, like seriously, that line from Onslaught, I'm like, why the fuck is that in this movie?
I think that to be
I
fair, I think
still
that
trying to
also
figure that
I
out.
think that line also did me in when I was doing my reaction. If you saw my reaction, you know the line I'm talking about. I was just like, "What the fuck?"
It's like,
And I,
guys, we know that RC's been shipped with everyone, but come on. Like, yeah, like you said it best, Justin, our
Yeah.
cringe meter exploded. As holy boys, all I could say is like shit like this is why I'm grateful that I am legal drinking age. And it just sucks balls that right now that I have no alcohol.
dude, if I could, I'd be Dude, I would be fucking passing you my decanter of rye whiskey I got in Kentucky. I genuinely was. It's like you need this more than me, brother.
Right? Yeah, so I guess we'll start I guess we could start with Springer and Hot Rod and what we think of them overall.
Design wise, cash money. Everything else wise,
Okay, in all fairness, I'll say this. Personality wise, I thought Springer was actually pretty well handled for the most part. Like, not gonna lie, I really had no problems with him.
okay, fair enough.
Hot
Hot Rod, how
Rod,
actually hang on. I have exactly what I want to say about just Hot Rod, and actually I'll save it for later.
okay.
I'll
Justin,
save the sound bite I'm thinking of just for my final thoughts of the movie.
Okay. Justin, since Hot Rod is a favorite character of yours, you want to take a stab at this one?
That's my opinion. I mean, in many ways, he's a
He
they
feels
did
like
a
he does.
pretty great job of handling the more cocky side from like the IDW comics. So
Everything else, though, is just eh.
okay, he wasn't.
It's
I
like,
wouldn't say he was completely character assassinated. Just kind of mediocre.
yeah, because it's like, again, it's like the best way I could describe how I feel about Hot Rod in this movie. Basically, imagine like Smokescreen when he shows up in Prime, in season 2, folks, just ranked up to 11. Like I said, he's literally the Smokescreen of this movie. So again, that's why I said earlier, it's like it just felt like Smokescreen has no reason to be here because he's literally not really given anything to do. Smokescreen just feels like he's here because, well, we got to have him here. I mean, I like that he and Hot Rod have some history together, like they were in boot camp. I
That's
thought
pretty
that was
cool.
kind of cool. But it's like, it's weird to, like, the reason it bugs me a little bit is because Smokescreen already felt kind of similar to Hot Rod. So, like, there was no real reason to have two of the same character in this movie.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I feel like
mean,
they could have
like I
played
said,
out Smokescreen being a little more mature to differentiate them,
Yeah.
so he could be in this movie.
Yeah, because Smokescreen, like we said, they literally dumb him down in this movie. Like, he is a bumbling idiot.
They dumb everyone down in this movie.
Yeah, but Smokey, it especially hurts a character like Smokey because, again, all the growth that he went through seasons 2 and 3. It's like,
And how creative he was shown to be.
yeah,
Like there's
here
a
he's not
reason the
creative
elite
at
guard
all.
like there's a reason the elite guard recruited him.
Yeah, it's like here there is nothing creative about it. His solution is just punch the bad guys.
That's everyone's solution in this movie. It's just
But again,
punch
Smokescreen
shit.
was shown to be way more creative in the show, especially when he had the phase shifter. So I'm just when I saw him fighting Cyclonus, I'm just like, the fuck?
Yeah, it's like it literally feels like they gave everyone stupid juice in this
Even
movie.
like the other characters in Dragon Ball aren't this much of a bunch of bumbling morons without Goku.
Exactly.
Not even
Yeah,
in a
they're actually
bridge are
pretty-
they this useless without Goku.
Exactly.
And they're not afraid to just like call that out. Cell Saga, anybody?
Yep.
Sorry.
like,
Okay,
I
that
agree.
was sorry. Just
No, you're good, man. It's all good. No, you're good. Yeah, I agree, Justin. It's like I did like that they played up the cocky aspect of Hot Rod, but it's like it just felt like that was the only aspect of the character that they ever focus on. Because again, for me, it's like what they do with Hot Rod in this movie. It's kind of like how I felt with like Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger's Jokers in in their respective movies. It's like, okay, guys, you got one half of the character down. You're missing the other half.
yeah. Jack Nicholson got the
Who is-
comedic side of the Joker. Heath Ledger got the scary side of the Joker. And that's not
Exactly.
not knocking Heath Ledger, by the way. God rest his
No, it's
soul.
not.
Or
God
still
rest
love
his
their
zombie
performances.
bones.
I still love both their performances in those movies.
Oh yeah,
though.
they both did a great job for their respective movies. I just
Oh, no,
wanted
they
to.
totally did. Like, they sold it.
I just felt like I just felt like I really had to put some respect on Heath Ledger's name.
No, I agree. I'm just using that as an example because it's like that's my main takeaway with Hot Rod here is like you got one half of the character down, the cocky side of him, but you're missing the other half where it's like, yeah, despite his cocky, reckless nature, he still ultimately is, someone that you can count on, and he's not afraid to have his moments where even admits he's scared.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
mean,
here,
a good example would
Hot
be
Rod's whole
the
thing is just,
'86 movie.
not a. Yeah, it's like here, Hot Rod is constantly flirting with RC to the point where even she is like, yeah, she is just so done with this. And then there's like the point where it's like Smokey's like, she's like a big sister to us, and it's like, and literally Hot Rod's like, so she's available. No, she's not.
Okay, so permit me to make a. Okay, I can't believe I'm about to fucking say this.
Oh boy.
Dude, I mean, like, dude's constantly trying to grease up the piston.
Yep.
Now, if you
That
excuse me,
sums
I'm
up-
just gonna slap myself for saying that.
Oh come on, it wasn't
Anyway.
that bad.
That comes through in the
but
mic.
Yeah, it came through.
I'm gonna feel that in
So,
the
but yeah.
morning.
Hey, don't look at me. You did it.
Dude, that actually
Yeah, so,
made
like-
my just a heads up. That actually made my fucking ear ring.
Nice.
Oh. Let you hit yourself that hard.
Dummy. See, I could be nice. I didn't call you a dumbass. I just said dummy.
Fuck you. All right, continue on.
I love you too, buddy. So yeah, for the most part, Hot Rod and Springer, they're okay. Like, okay, Springer's definitely feels more like he actually is, for the most part, Springer, for lack of better words, I guess. And even though, admittedly, and even though I showed some annoyance, I would be lying if I said, like, when he says I have better things to do tonight than die, I'd be lying if I said it didn't make me crack a smile.
I mean, it feels like you are naturally obliged if you're creating a fan film with Springer involved. You have to use that line.
Or if you just have Springer in general in your thing.
Well, to be fair,
Yeah.
the line, it is just like an absolute banger of a line.
I mean, it fits a character who is basically described as like the kind of hero like Indiana Jones. Like a man's kind of character. Like that's what Springer's supposed to be. So yeah. Yeah, Springer, Springer I absolutely loved. I also loved like the kind of moments between him and RC, as few as they are. I actually felt they were pretty well done because give credit where it's due. It was actually played up pretty subtly, like the idea that they are into each other. Like it was played very subtly, and I liked it. It wasn't in your face.
Given RC's history with men, you might want to watch your ass, Springer.
By
To
that
be
you
fair,
mean basically being shipped with every character in the
No, I'm
Transformers
just saying the last two guys she was
pantheon?
with,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, that.
to be fair, Jack survived 3 whole seasons.
he's not even of the same species. That don't count.
Damn it. Sorry, Jack. I was trying to throw you a bone.
No, I mean, at this point, no, I'm just going to say it. But thank God Raph, Jack, and Miko sat this one out.
Oh, considering how fucked up, considering how they fucked up everyone else in this movie. Oh yeah, they're lucky they got left out.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna talk about the human stuff too, but there's not really a whole lot to talk about because admittedly they're not in the movie a whole lot.
Oh,
Which
I
is
have
probably for the
things to
better.
say about the character models.
Oh god, they're awful. But again, we will get there. So I guess next we'll talk about Team Prime.
Holy shit, did they make them a bunch of bumbling? Okay, let's give you an idea of just how they handled Team Prime without the big O versus in the show and in Predacons Rising versus
This movie.
movie. We'll just start with the beginning of season 2 when Prime lost his memory and was hanging with the Decepticons. They still played up Team Prime as pretty damn competent. Even without their leader, they could still figure things out mostly. They needed a little help, but they were able to handle some things competently to come up with a plan to rescue Optimus and hold their own against. The only real struggle they had was against Megatron.
And even then, we still got some and even then, there were still drama because of all the stuff going on. And it was drama that felt like it had a reason to be there because yeah, everyone's stressed out and they we want Optimus back, but we don't know how to do it.
Yeah, and they played that up really well. They're all very capable soldiers, just Prime's the head honcho, and not only that, but he really is kind of the man of the house, so to speak.
Yeah,
they all miss him.
Yeah.
Ratchet, we all see it. Everybody is way more snappy without him because they're just worried about him. RC, Ratchet. I think arguably the only one who really had their head together was B. I mean, granted, we couldn't understand B, but he definitely seemed like the most calm out of the 4.
I mean, and to be fair, I feel like that plays into the fact that B has been in the field longer with Optimus than any of the others. It's if the War for Cybertron game is continuity to the Transformers Prime TV show, take it with a grain of salt, if you will.
Events it's a squid test. Events are shared, but there's some discrepancy. It's like Legends versus canon.
Yeah, it's like that. But it's even if we take it as remotely canon, yeah, B has been on the front lines with Optimus practically since the get-go. So it's yeah, it kind of makes sense that B is one of the ones that can, keep his head cool because it's he's essentially mentored under Optimus, which just made it all the more upsetting for me in RID 15 when they assassinated B's character a little bit, but we're not here to talk about that.
Yeah, one thing,
one way they assassinated his character.
Yeah, then we get on to Predacons Rising. Optimus is out looking for the Allspark with Wheeljack. The rest of the main team Prime is left to handle things by themselves, handling both new Predacons and the return of Unicron. And once again, they were shown to be pretty damn competent. B stepped up as being temporary lead. They formulate some pretty good plans.
Oh,
and they're able to handle curveballs relatively easily, so they can get back to the main issue.
Not only that, but they even convinced the Predacons and Knockout to help them out.
Well, Knockout just didn't want to get fired out the first airlock.
Fair enough, but still.
Well, more like he just wanted to be on the winning side, but all right.
True, that did keep true, but still. And then we get to this movie where, like we said, folks, Team Prime got derped.
I just want to say that
they got stupid juice.
I was gonna say I get wanting to make your villains, having stakes.
This ain't how you do it, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I think which part of it was it where we just say like most of this is just the heroes getting like smacked around?
Pretty much the entire fucking movie.
Which
I mean,
I mean,
hell, even
oh,
I
go
mean,
ahead.
hell, even in like Transformers Animated, where it's pretty clear that the Decepticons are the superior fighters. Even then, you know, our
Yeah,
heroes didn't look like complete chumps.
They fought
yeah, it's like
smarter, not harder.
Well, yeah, that was like
exactly.
part of their art. Yeah, that was like kind of the thing. They know they can't. In that the cases, they know they can't match the Decepticons' brute strength, so they have to,
A very
get
key
more
example
creative.
was the very first episode when Megatron was on the Autobot ship. Like Prime and the others knew they couldn't take on any Decepticons as a repair crew, let alone the leader of the Decepticons. So they used their environment to their advantage, turning like again turning off the artificial gravity. All five of them attacking at once, targeting Megatron's weak points because he was already injured. Optimus throwing him out when he
Right?
was distracted by the. You get what I'm saying? There was
Yeah,
Or
like there was an attempt on being that clever when the bots were facing the heralds, but it just felt like it either felt like Carlos was too scared to put his villains in any real danger or any threatening situations, or he made them so powerful he wasn't clever enough to make the heroes seem competent enough to find other ways of taking them down.
because
or
literally, because
I think
literally
another.
everybody's response to fighting the villains, including like with the Combaticons later, is literally, "Hey, let's just fight them one at a time." It's like, yeah, because that worked so well the
It
last
was
time you
literally
did
just
it.
like how Knuckles handle things. Punching not working for some reason. Hang on, let me put up the soundboard. Bet he just keeps punching more.
Or it's
It's
like
like
it.
you
It's like,
fucking bet he keeps punching.
or hell, you could even put a DBZ abridged reference in here because it would work. It's like, I swear to God, if you say hit him really hard, I will punch you in the dick. We could try punching him really hard. Together? Ah,
Justin,
fuck it.
Justin, you were trying to say something?
Yeah, my
I was
bad,
gonna
dude.
say, I think another example of like again making the villains seem unstoppable without making your heroes seem like chumps. I mean, this may sound insane to some people, but I think Rise of the TMNT also did that really well.
Oh no, the
Yeah, I
move. Oh
agree.
yeah, the Rise movie with the Krang.
Yes.
Like, dude, prime example. No pun intended. This time.
Exactly.
But no, I mean, like that is a go-to example. You can't out muscle the enemy, outthink the enemy.
Yeah, exactly.
And even then, outthinking Krang was also difficult because again, Krang's not just a is not just a brute force villain. He's very intelligent.
Oh yeah, this is like this was the most terrifying version of Krang we ever got.
They straight up made him a
Oh,
David Cronenberg style horror, and I love it.
Which
I love it too.
I mean, I have my
Again,
nitpick. I have nitpicks with certain things about ROTMNT. Like not as big as others, but I definitely have my nitpicks.
right.
Splinter.
Sorry, he had a frog in his throat.
No, I am not letting go what they did to Splinter. Fuck you.
No, no,
But
I know.
anyway,
I'm in complete agreement.
but yeah, but like again, like it's a good way of making your villains seem unstoppable without having to nerf your heroes, but also still, like it like the whole point of having a villain you can't defeat like in a conventional way is that it makes your heroes have to think outside the box, so to speak.
They were nerfed in the
Exactly.
movie.
I mean,
Most of
again,
the time, they didn't have their
I mean,
powers.
well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah,
I'm
we
just saying,
get it.
like, they didn't even have their powers most of the film, and they were still able to give, like, the Krang a run for their money.
Yeah, but even once they had their powers, Krang was
Well,
still kicking their ass.
yeah, like I said, the point is like like I said, the point of this is to make the hero to show very much again to show that the heroes can be more than just punching things. Because again, it's again Leo had to defeat Krang in a pretty unconventional way, which in many ways was kind of built up through the series. Was again his creativity, and that's
Yeah, how he
Exactly.
was very
how he managed.
strategically mined, and like I want to say mostly like the choice at the very tail end of the show was just like, oh, by the way, Leo, you're the leader now. I still say that was mostly a fuck you by the writers, but they
Well,
also
it was
used that
more
very
of
hang on, let me cook. They also managed to develop that much better in the movie, so I'm gonna cut them a little bit of slack.
yeah, but
Well, to
well,
be fair,
I'm
well, to
cutting
be
them
fair, they were
slack because I was gonna say I'm
yeah.
just gonna cut them slack because really they had more planned for season 2, but since the show wasn't doing so well, they literally cut most of what they had planned for season 2 and then basically just compiled what they had planned for season 3 into the movie.
What also
Okay,
didn't help, I feel, was because again, fans being fans were complaining that it's not like it how it usually is. I hate it. Boy,
you
does
know
that
what? I'm
sound
gonna
familiar.
raise my
Yeah,
hand
that's
and
what I said. Yeah, that's what I said.
I'm gonna totally take the L in a bit. I was kind of one of those. I didn't check out the show that much because I was just like, I'm like, what the fuck did they do to my boys? But I finally watched it. I'm like,
No, I
okay,
think
I
we were
can
all like
kind
that.
of. I then I actually watched it. I'm like, okay, I can kind of get what they were going for, but I was not 100% jiving with it. But I mean, this isn't making me. I'm not like just reacting with vitriol at it. Just like,
Oh, you're just
okay,
being honest.
this just wasn't like this just wasn't like jiving with me.
I think
Oh,
we
it's to-
all kind of started off with that preconceived that what's the
yeah,
word I'm
that
looking for?
preconceived notion.
And I'm
Yeah,
sorry, but
of
I will
that it's
never. I'm
instantly
sorry, but
gonna
I'll never
suck.
get used to how out of left field Raph looks compared to the others. You cannot change my mind about that. I get what they were going for, but god damn it, you could have shrunk him just a little bit.
I didn't
Yes, but
mind it.
anyway, can I continue? Anyway, can I
Yeah,
continue?
go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
go ahead,
ahead. I'm
Justin. Sorry.
sorry. Rant over.
No,
Yeah,
you're
it's okay.
good.
Yeah, like I said, I think we all. But anyway, like going back to like how I was using like that to describe, the problem with this is that again they don't. It's like they don't use that in this. They don't have the heroes try to think of a different way to defeat the villains.
No, it's literally let's just muscle our way through the problem. Like the closest we get to ever having moments like the original series, like one that I can think of is like during the fight on Cybertron when B and one of the jet Viacons, or just I think it's one of the normal Viacons in general, like try to lure Slipstream somewhere, but it's like that's all they're doing. They're just running away, and even then they run away like 10 feet.
Yeah.
Or
Like they're
maybe it's
like we
100
have to
feet. I don't know. I don't know. Like some of the editing is just wonk as hell.
like literally B
Well,
is
yeah, that
like,
also
oh
doesn't help.
B's like, we have to outthink her. And it's like, yeah, well, you didn't really outthink her. You just ran like 20 feet. How was that outthinking
Yeah.
her, you dumbass? Just,
They were able to outthink Unicron pretty decently in from what I remember. They were able to like outthink him a little bit in Predacons Rising.
oh no, they totally did. They played up into the fact that he was trying to get his hands on the Allspark, and that's why he ends up trapped in the vessel that was holding it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I don't know. It definitely
Yeah,
felt like
they
yeah, he
couldn't.
definitely wanted to it felt yeah, he wanted to make like the Heralds a huge threat, but it felt like it did that by just having I can only describe I
Everyone
think
else,
it's called an idiot. Like just relying on everyone being an idiot.
yeah, it's like that's basically what it is. Because it's like again, like it gets to a point in this movie, folks, where like us talking about it doesn't do it justice. Like you have to see it for yourself to believe it, though we don't recommend it, at least not sober. But it's like seriously, it gets to a point where I'm just thinking it got to a point where halfway more than like we're like three-fourths of the way through this movie, and I'm like, at this point, I don't care anymore. I don't want any of these characters to succeed because they're fucking morons. It's like this is not how Team Prime was in the original show. Like here, they are literally stupid.
Justin, you had something to say?
I think I said my piece on it already.
So we said our piece on the characters. Should we get on some of the other just things that drive us batshit insane? I think I
Well,
already mentioned
there's a
it. I
few.
think I already
Well,
segued
there's a
into
few.
it.
Well, there's a few things. Like, there's a few more things on the character side I think we should cover real quickly. So, one that I personally want to cover, real quick, is Knockout. And before anyone hates me on this, I have a reason for this. Okay, let me cook. Let me cook.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'll say this: where they were trying to go with Knockout's character arc or character development, I should say, more accurately. I didn't hate that. Like, I liked it, but the problem I have with it is I just don't it just feels like we're halfway through a season that didn't actually air because admittedly, Knockout did not feel like Knockout.
You know,
Like he's willingly putting himself in harm's way and, potentially getting his paint chipped. So it's like I said, it's like if this was like I said, it feels like we're jumping halfway into a season where he's at where he should be at this point. And it's just I don't know. I felt like it was just again, I like the idea.
Yeah.
I just kind of feel like they were moving too fast with it. Does that make any sense?
you kind of giving
No,
my
I
boy too little credit. He didn't just risk his paint chip. I mean, the poor guy got a gigantic hole in his chest. Remember?
Oh yeah, that was the part that made me disconnect.
I was saying when you said that, I was grinning like the fucking Grinch waiting to drop that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was the point that made me just disconnect from the Discord call, folks. I'm like, fuck this movie. Because there was
Yeah.
no hole in his chest.
Oh, we'll get to some of the shit going on with the animating and the editing later.
What animation?
Hey, come on! Don't be mean to my boy Ben. He did the best he could.
Oh, I'm not being mean to Ben. I'm being mean to Carlos.
Okay, fair enough. That's a big difference.
And even then, it's like
did
Carlos.
most of Ben's stuff get cut?
It did. It really, really did. And it sucks too because Ben's stuff actually looked finished. Again, go check out the video in question.
Yep, like I said, links to like to Ben and a lot of our research material in the description down below.
Like I said, I didn't mind like I said, I didn't hate the idea. I didn't hate what they were trying to do with Knockout. I do like it. Again, I just kind of feel like I don't know. Like I said, it just felt like they were moving too fast.
They had
It's
a great idea.
like-
They just didn't leave it in the oven long enough.
Yep. Another character that you and I especially had an issue with this, Tom, was how they handled our boy Ratchet. Because I'm sorry, folks, this is not Prime Ratchet.
Oh my
Like,
god,
at all.
he was more one-track minded than a fucking yandere in an anime. I am making all the
Yep.
anime references today. Have I turned into a weeb?
No, you're only a weeb if you actually show up to work dressed up as an anime character. Like those guys that dress up like Naruto and go to work at Burger King.
Okay,
Yeah.
dude, you gotta admit that's kind of setting way too high of a bar for the weeb status.
Hey, I've seen weeb. I know what a weeb looks like. That's taking it like there's being a fan, and then there's just being too much of a. There's being too uber a fan.
I think I watched a lot of
Exactly.
Naruto when I was like little, and I think I was way too young to be watching some of the shit that was going on in that show.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, as much as I love Godzilla, I'm not going to show up to work dressed up in a Godzilla costume. Although, admittedly, that would be fun as hell.
Dude, I would fucking pay for the costume if you did that. The only problem is your store might get flagged by Toho.
I mean, I was tempted to do it last year for Halloween. I might do it this year. I don't know.
I will
Anyways.
3D print the fucking skeleton for you, dog.
You shouldn't.
I know. All right. Anyway.
Anyways, so I guess, yeah, Ratchet is just so tunnel visioned on trying to accomplish what he's trying to accomplish in this movie.
Yeah,
To the
which
point where it is
we'll
just
get to that
so
later.
jarring.
But I mean, Ratchet is known to kind of tunnel vision on a goal, but not to an detrimental. I actually made the joke during my reactions that Ratchet is just going full TF2 medic.
Yeah, literally. Anyway, now
Medic,
time.
Funny.
help me!
No.
TF2 medic is not funny.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, Justin. Medic, just not funny. So I guess we'll move on to the next bit, which I don't know what I guess the animation itself.
Yep, that's like okay, this is just I guess we'll just start with like the minor things like the nitpicks that I had.
Yeah, go ahead.
This would be nitpicks I would have regardless if the movie was good or bad, and that's just like a lot of the detail just feels like it was just omitted in a lot of the facial features on the characters, like Ratchet and Bulkhead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Completely agree.
And there was just not a lot of good texture work on. Like there are times where like the texture work where it's good, where it looks like metal's reflecting light, and other times where it just looks like shit.
Well, again, it's like this is supposed to be fully rendered, and yet nothing. Yet there's scenes where it's like, what is fully rendered here? This looks like it's unfinished.
They just put it
Like-
in like a Gmod skybox map and just called it a day.
I have seen and even then, like if this was a Vanoss video, at least it would be funny. It's like they'd be doing some crazy shit.
Yeah. Also, could you say like how janky the movements are?
Oh, it is very janky.
100%. Now, I'll grant, not everyone has the
And-
Dota splurge on a mocap suit. So like no argument there, especially since like a lot of the characters don't exactly have fully human proportions. So mocapping that would be a pain in the ass.
But even still, it's
Yes.
like there's just
Also,
moments where
like-
characters are running where it just feels too floaty.
And like it also, I think where it really like looks bad is definitely in the fight scenes. So
Especially during the daytime. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, there was like first of all, it feels like there was almost no mass to the characters.
Yeah, they feel way too. It's like again, people complain about the Bay films, but it's like I would argue the characters of this movie felt more weightless than any of the bots in the Bay films.
And no, I still argue there is just weight in those characters. They just know how to throw it.
Well, plus in the case, like I will always defend the Bay films in the sense of like, yeah, I get what they're trying to go for. It's like, yeah, they're made of metal, but it's not metal from Earth, so it's not nearly as heavy as say like stuff like iron and steel and stuff like that.
right?
Like they're supposed to be sentient machines, so it would make sense that their bodies, in their own unique way, are able to support their massive weight by making themselves kind of lightweight. I don't know. It's like,
That's one way to
is
look
it
at it.
like, look, I mean, sure, I'll admit freely. Am I just saying a bunch of pseudoscience BS out of my head, pulling a bunch of pseudoscience BS out of my ass? Yeah, but it's the only way I can contextualize this stuff and have it make sense. Give me some slack. I don't see you people doing it. Just kidding, audience. We love you.
I was about to say, this is my channel. Don't start fucking me over with talking shit to my audience.
But you get what I'm trying to say, though, right, guys?
Oh, 100%. It's like there is still like a sense of weight and momentum to a lot of the movements you see in not just the Bay films, but also like anything else that's been done so far. I argue
hell,
even
even
up to even up to Transformers 1, which I admit is like the fastest paced we've seen.
Yeah, but even then, it's like the characters still feel like they have weight. I mean, like like the scene, like when Arachnid and Alita are like crashing through buildings, crashing through windows and like, crashing through stuff on top of buildings. There feels like there's weight and momentum behind it, despite the fact that it's all 3D CG.
Oh yeah, 100%. So there is like some study of like how something this big would be moving, kind of.
And affecting it, and not to mention, but more importantly, how it's affecting the environment around it.
I mean, it's enough
Oh,
for
yeah, like
like
the
you
scene
don't
when
you're able
Alita
to
is
suspend your like you have a decent suspension of disbelief for it. Go ahead, Justin.
well, yeah, like was it the scene when again Alita's trying to catch up to Arrakis? She's driving on the windows, and you see the windows cracking behind her as she's driving over them.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. This movie doesn't have that, though. It's like, again, none of the characters feel like they have any weight to them. Not even freaking Bruticus feels like he has weight. And he's the biggest character in this movie.
Oh, again, I'll get to him. I'll get to Bruticus.
Look how
Actually, you
they
want to get to him
massacred our
now
boy.
so we can.
Hmm.
Actually, want to get to him now so we can. I'll go through him now so we can,
Let me just
Might
rip
as
that
well.
band-aid off.
let me just chug this drink so I can just prepare myself.
Okay,
You got to rip the band-aid off, folks.
he does.
This is exactly how I feel about how they handled Bruticus's power scaling. Carlos, you completely
You can blow out your mic there, man.
Yeah, you
harder than
did.
I could have possibly. That bending over with a ukulele.
He's intentionally blurting himself out. I love it.
Saves me all the bullshit I have to do in post, so might as well use it.
Oh, I
Yeah.
agree. Go ahead. Go for it. Sky's the limit when you give a shit.
Give more of a shit than these guys did.
Okay, should I actually give into my real thoughts instead of like doing a bit?
Yes.
Yes, please. Like,
Okay,
go in raw.
so what do I have to pay you to never say that again?
I'm not gonna do the joke. It's played to death now.
Well, we'll give it some time to rest, and then we'll pull the card. How about that?
Maybe $100 and we'll call it a day.
Well, hang on. We've never made that joke on air.
A lot. You have to pay me a Ford Focus.
There we go.
There we go. Now we can retire. Now we can retire it for an episode.
Well, next episode is going to be a long time, given how easy it is to get you to schedule anything.
I am flipping you off so hard right now.
You know I'm right.
2 fingers.
You know I'm right.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Well, next episode might be a lot sooner, considering what's supposed to be dropping tomorrow. Hype.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that later. Actually, you'll know once we drop it. But anyway, we'll just start off with we'll just start off with a scene that just made me just want to slam my head into my keyboard, and that is like little Ultramagnet saying he's fought the Galvatrons before. He kind of knows what to do, and immediately turning the fucking knockout for information.
Exactly. Yeah,
I'm just like, wow. That omitted that I have never seen anything omit a line of dialogue so fucking fast.
right? Like, what the
Yeah.
actual shit?
It's like they had two completely different ideas for that scene. And somebody just like fucked up and had them spliced in together.
Right? I fought the Galvatrons before. Knockout. What do you know about the Galvatrons?
Like somebody accidentally clicked the wrong like two contradicting dialogue lines in a Mass Effect game.
Right.
I can say that I've played 1% of a Mass Effect game. I tried, okay?
This is like Shepard asking for advice on the Reapers and then immediately turns to one of the other members of the team and asks, "What do you know about the Reapers?"
Yeah. And then we
see
actually
the
get to
problem
like
there?
the combination scene. We can't let the Combaticons combine. All of them are just standing there with their dicks in their hands like idiots as they combine.
Yup.
Oh yeah.
I need to drink more often. I
Like,
get some good reactions out of myself.
like what was? Didn't I like make a comparison to something when we mentioned that? I can't
You,
remember.
I can't remember. Don't ask me to have a good memory right now, boys.
I do
Okay.
remember, like, I do love that's like Onslaught earlier before they combine is like, you're surrounded, Autobots. Yeah, from just one side because you're all standing there like idiots.
Oh yeah, we'll get into some of like the really dumb. Let's say the really dumb shit for later. But just like we got like okay, he's supposed to be the big, the bad, like a weapon of mass destruction, like we had in Full of Cybertron, a Goliath that we're supposed to be intimidated with facing.
Exactly.
Bro gets fucking knocked around. It's like watching Paul Batista get his ass kicked by Peter Dinklage.
Exactly.
That's literally what this looks like. Like just like like it literally looks like well, there's one scene where all Galvatron has to do is just like sucker punch him in the knee and he goes down. I'm just surprised he never tried headbutting him in the dick. That would make him decombine.
I mean, apparently he hit him so hard that at one point Galvatron hits Bruticus so hard that he does decombine, and then they immediately recombine because like combine into Bruticus, and it's like, oh yeah, because that worked so well earlier.
And then the writers decided, oh yeah, he's a combiner. He's supposed to be really fucking tough. Like I remember this. Oh. Like, did you do your combiner? Did you get your combiner research from fucking Machinima?
That would explain a lot.
And no, I'm not giving Carlos a fucking inch because these are the Combaticons. These are the ghosts of Transformer combiners, second only to Devastator. And you
Exactly. Preach, brother. Preach.
Hey, how do I really feel?
What happened? I blacked out there for a second.
Was I dancing with a computer named Lupe?
I don't even think the Combiner Wars combiners came out looking this bad. But then again, I never really watched Combiner Wars in its whole.
Oh
That was
my
doo-doo.
fucking god. They went to the Machinima class of combiner power scaling and fucking skipped half the class. I get these are the heralds of Unicron, but god damn it! It once again feels like you are relying on these characters being fucking pushovers. Oh my god.
Yeah, that really did piss us off, people. Like Tom, me and Tom especially. Well, I don't know how strongly Justin feels. That's why I'm saying this. But like, Tom and I are big fans of Bruticus. So to see our boy get,
I like Bruticus too.
Okay, just making sure. So yeah, seeing our boy get neutered this hard, this hurt.
Those hurts for me in particular because, again, the Combaticons are my favorite combiner team. And seeing them just get treated like a fucking pinata. Like, I try not to take shit personally, but I took this fucking personally as a fan.
Literally, it's like that Michael Jordan quote from that documentary he did, where it's like, oh, it's gonna be like that, and that's all I needed for it to be personal.
I don't know if I will freely admit I like my frustration may be enhanced by the alcohol.
I wish I had alcohol so I could be more like you right now.
But it just, I'm sorry. But this, I mean it when I say the way they treated my boy Bruticus absolutely pissed me off.
Well, dude, same. It's like Bruticus is my favorite Decepticon combiner, and like I said, he is fucking neutered in this movie.
Granted, again, so is everyone else.
Yeah, but in
yeah, I
this,
think
but in this case, it's especially bad, Justin, because it's like again, this is a this is a gestalt, a combiner. These guys are supposed to be able to take a licking and keep on ticking.
You know
Bruticus,
you
like,
fucked up when RID 15 did Menasor better than you did Bruticus.
exactly.
I
It's
mean,
like,
no, I mean it.
no, I agree. Hell,
yeah.
I'll even take Ultra B over this.
They should have named him Warden. I'm just gonna say that, gathering up, kind of referencing the Alchemore prison ship, Warden. You feel me?
No, I agree. That
Yeah.
name is way better. Ultra B, it's like that just sounds too gimmicky a name. Anyways,
I think I
it's
need to
like
cut myself off. I'm
it's like
I'm serious.
it's
That is like maybe that's got to be like the most piss I've ever gotten with anything TF related. Oh my god.
I mean, we
well,
understand you, man.
I'm gonna have a similar reaction when we get to a certain plot point here pretty soon.
Oh yeah, this has
You
got
want to
to
rip?
be the biggest fuck up they ever did.
And I know it's some of y'all are thinking it's like what could possibly top neutering Bruticus as badly? It's like, oh, it's the fact that this movie does something. Now, I have to preference this real quick before we get into this, folks, to give you an idea why this pissed me off. And it also pissed my buddies off too a little bit. I can't remember. I think it was Carlos did post something to social media where he basically was venting his frustrations with the Transformers fandom, saying that they rely on cliches for their story. Transformers fans rely on outdated cliches for their storytelling, whether it be fanfics, stop motion animations, whatever. It's like, oh
That's a
yeah,
bold.
Carlos. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, Carlos? Well, what about your fucking movie? When you bring Optimus Prime back from the dead yet again?
Yeah, I thought we were gonna go a little longer. We actually managed to go almost 2.5 hours without dropping that bombshell.
I mean, honestly,
Well,
there's no point in hiding it anymore. Like everyone probably knows about this point, but still, it's like, yeah, people, you need to understand. Like, I've already explained this to these guys, and they totally understand where I'm coming from on this.
Actually, I
But
think
I want to
Justin wants to
preference this
add
here.
a couple of other things before you go on your rant.
Oh, go ahead. Then go ahead. Go ahead.
uh, I mean, pretty much what you're about to say is like what I was like suggesting we move to.
Okay, I kind of
And
figured.
and I just what is it? I remember you like you gave a pretty like when you were like saying how you felt like Optimus' sacrifice at the end of Predacons Rising was
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm
an
about to get
example
here.
an example of Optimus Prime's death done well, and I kind of like you to explain it to these fine audience because I think like the way you described it was a really good way.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna give you the driver's seat. I should probably put the booze away and just sober up a little bit.
All right. All right, buddy. So yeah, let me take over here for just a little bit, folks. So yeah, this legitimately the decision to bring Optimus Prime back from the dead yet again for this movie. This pissed me off. And I want to make this clear. I didn't like it when RID 15 did it. So yeah, so trust me, I'm not even giving official aligned continuity a pass with it, okay, folks? So this isn't just because it's a fan film. It's like, no, I didn't give RID 15 a pass. I'm not giving this movie a pass for doing it either. All right, so I don't want
Right.
and I want to preference that so nobody thinks I'm just playing favorites or whatever. It's like, no, didn't like it when RID 15 did it. Don't like it here. But see, here's the thing. As we all know, one of Optimus Prime's defining character traits, although I wouldn't really say it's a character trait as much more as it is just kind of a trope so associated with him, is him constantly dying and then coming back from the dead. Something that every major incarnation of the character has done at least once.
Right.
Like it started all the way back in 86 when they killed Optimus Prime off after they discontinued his toy. And then they eventually they brought him back for season 3 of the original G1 cartoon. It's like, And I will say this, like, in the case of G1, I feel like they should have just stuck to their guns, like, just, you know, it's like, don't get me wrong, I was glad to see Optimus come back, but a part of me looking back on it now thinks, I kind of wish Hasbro had stuck to their guns on that one. Like, no, we're not bringing him back. So it's like, but yeah, like the thing about Transformers Prime's choice to kill off Optimus Prime for good at the end of Predacons Rising, for me, like Justin pointed out earlier, I have to say it best. Like, this is how you do the death of a character like Optimus Prime, but doing so in a way where it's not done for shock value and it's not done just because, oh, the toy was discontinued. Like, you're killing off this character in a way that it has weight to it, but it also feels natural for him as a character. Okay, so it's no secret that in the Aligned continuity, Optimus is the original 13th Prime, just reincarnated. Or at the very least, it's heavily implied. Like, they never outright officially say it, but it's very much implied through tie-in media like the Covenant of Primus guidebook.
Right.
So, and in the past, the 13th Prime was, one of the things about the 13th Prime story in the Aligned continuity that I found fascinating is when the Age of the Primes came to its end, the 13th chose to give up his life to ignite the Well of Allsparks so that new life could arise on Cybertron, which in turn led to him being reincarnated as Orion Pax, who would later become Optimus Prime. So it's like,
Right.
honestly, Optimus basically absorbing the Allspark and sacrificing himself to reignite the core of Cybertron, it felt like a very fitting end for his character because, again, he basically ended where his story began, with him giving up his life so that life on Cybertron can flourish again. By undoing that and bringing him back because, oh, we need Deus Ex Machina plot device hero, which is kind of what this felt like, not gonna lie.
Oh, it most
It just
certainly did.
it undermines his sacrifice. And like I said, I didn't like it when RID-15 did it either. So again, I'm not just giving this crap because, oh, it's a fan project. No, I didn't even like it when an official piece of media tied to the Aligned continuity did it. So
Yeah. Well,
again,
also,
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say also, RID 2015 didn't say the shit Carlos said, so
Yeah.
that's what kind of the whole if you can't walk the walk, don't talk the talk.
Yeah, how about
Exactly.
that? I think I
Yeah,
messed up my voice a little bit when I went on my rant, but I guess I'll circle it back around and give my exact reasons why I'm so frustrated with how they handled Bruticus.
go ahead, man.
But no, I want you to
Yours.
continue first before I just take your moment.
No, it's all good. But yeah, just I hated that they again brought Optimus back just because, oh, we need, Optimus, we need you to save the day again because we're incompetent at our job. It's like, no, 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 no. There was absolutely no fucking reason to bring Optimus back. Like,
I,
let him rest in
Admittedly, it's
peace.
still. I still laugh at the fact that like Primus just sees Ratchet. He's like, "Who the fuck are you? I'm trying to sleep." And I still loved like the moment of I made this joke when I was did the reaction. I was like, that's nice. That was some nice philosophical gobbledygook. Can we have our leader back now?
Right?
And I just imagined
It's like,
Prime just wakes up like, oh god damn it, can you idiots just handle a threat to the universe without me for 5 minutes?
Optimus
Which
is
one
literally
of us
just like,
was it that made the joke about it's like, you know, like comparing it to like, Dragon Ball Z, like whenever Goku dies?
that's it. I don't remember who it was, but all I know is that's exactly what this felt like. It's like, can you guys just handle anything on your own without me?
Yeah. But I still like just think to myself, like Cliff Jumpers just watching this like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like they keep bringing Optimus back, and yet Cliffjumper and the Allspark be like, ain't that some bullshit?
All right, it's just like all right, Ratch, fuck you too.
He's just giving Ratchet the double middle finger, like "fuck you" and the ship you rode in on.
Fuck you and the vehicle mode you transformed into on.
Right? Oh my god, that, like I said, between bringing Optimus back and the constant over expository dialogue, those were the things that really pissed me off the most. But the Bruticus thing and another thing that we're gonna get here too shortly soon also
like
pissed me
Bruticus
off.
is my territory. Justin, you
Yeah,
mind
go
if I
ahead,
take
dude.
this one?
Yes.
So this
I
is
can
something
take
that's
the
been
next one. I have
This-
some shit to say.
all right. So this is something that has been constant with the Combaticons ever since they've been brought back to the spotlight, and that is they are the SEAL Team 6 of the Decepticon forces. They are the 5-man army. The Fall of Cybertron handled this with far less expository dialogue about the Combaticons. They were just there and they got shit done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, like okay, look. Fall of Cybertron, that's the gold standard. That is like the key, that's like the gold standard of speeches. Triangle, bitch. Yes, I referenced the Suicide Squad movie. That's still better than this piece of shit.
I mean, at least things are happening in that movie.
At least
Again,
Will Smith,
this movie's just making
at
us
least-
apologize
to
things
every
we don't
shitty
like.
movie ever. Again, at least Will Smith actually brought his A game as Deadshot. Fight me.
Triangle, bitch.
If we keep going, it's gonna make us apologize to Manos, the Hands of Fate.
I've never seen
I mean,
Manos, the Hands of Fate. But anyway, let me move on. So, like, G1, we don't get that much of, like, what what kind of shit they got up to before they got their new bodies. But we can tell that these guys are a lean, mean Decepticon machine.
Exactly.
Yes.
Then we get on to when they first combine. They give trouble to the Mac Daddy of combiners, Devastator. Minosaur just got lucky because they sucker punched him from behind. Fight me. Fuck you.
No, I will forever die on that hill too, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god, Hunter, get out of my brain.
No, it's just like we're like the statue of the guys at Iwo Jima. We're holding up the flag that says Venusaur got lucky, fight us.
But anyway, no.
We will die.
They,
We will
no,
die
no,
on
seriously.
that hill, damn it.
They gave the entire Decepticon force and
and the
they run for their
Autobots.
money. They gave both factions a run for their money. They made Megatron admit that Starscream was the new leader for like 5 seconds, but it still counts.
Right.
They
But
escaped
again,
their
like you
asteroid, their asteroid exile, made it all the way to Cybertron, kicked Shockwave with a Sundown Shine, and took over Cybertron, almost destroyed the Earth. So yeah, even back in G1, the Combaticons were the shit.
And keep in mind, after they stopped Bruticus the second time, Megatron had them reprogrammed to be loyal to him.
That's how valued of an asset Bruticus became after Megatron witnessed how good they are at their job. I mean, but take that with a grain of salt. G1, I could go on, but
Right.
you know what? You know what pisses me off? Even fucking Transformers Energon gave combiners more credit with Bruticus Maximus.
You know what?
Transformers Energon. I'm losing it again.
Oh, fine.
So yeah,
It's
there
just
has
that's
been
what I'm
a
saying.
consistency with not only with Bruticus himself, but the individual Combaticons, even down to Swindle. Which, yeah, he's a sleazeball, but he's a sleazeball that knows how to be a sleazeball, even in animated.
Yes. And
He's able
especially
to
in
play a
Earth Park.
situation to turn a profit.
I mean, hell, look at what he did in G1 when the Combaticons got blown to pieces.
Yeah,
He literally
that's still one
sold
of the
his
best
buddy's parts to the highest bidders.
so yeah,
That is still one of the best
and even
episodes.
even all those years later, after we got Bruticus proper, fast forward to 2011,
12.
2012, when we got the whole band back together. No exposition, no recap, no bullshit. We see what the Combaticons are about, even before we got the whole team, because Brawl rolled with Megatron. That should fucking tell you something. I don't care if it was because him and Barricade were in the 07 movie. It still counts. Fuck you.
He's
Yeah,
very
exactly.
passionate about this.
Take a
I
shot
love
every
it.
time I tell. I need to take a shot for every time I tell you to go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, I'm
I'll be
not
drunk.
No, I understand. I mean, granted, you could also say it's also because video games are a more interactive media, but
Fair enough, but
still,
we
at least
see,
that's a better
but
idea
we
of.
see them get shit done. We see Vortex get shit done. Swindle get shit done. Bordicus himself get shit done. Even though he's supposed to be dumb as a brick when he combines, but he was still able to get the job done. Albeit he wrecked the ship, but he still got the job done.
Hell, I'll even give you this, dude. Even in Fall of Cybertron, even though he's not a playable character, Brawl still gets shit done because he's good at blasting stuff.
Bingo.
I like blasting
Hey, he
stuff.
likes blast.
So
I mean,
I started.
And he did help Vortex get into the control room there. I'm tired of this. Go away, Vortex. I'll make that path.
So you guys are picking up what I'm putting down, right? The Combaticons are
See what you did there.
in like 99% of media. Like again, G1, Fall of Cybertron, IDW, fucking Transformers, Energon. The Combaticons are nothing to shake a stick at. And Carlos, you made them a bunch of moot.
Yeah, you
Too
made them
much.
chumps. It's like
Also,
I'm
another
sorry.
thing that all Cybertron did better is that we get better idea of like what their personalities are because we hear them interact and all that.
And I
Yeah,
just got my chair stuck and it can't recline anymore. God damn it.
the anger and the hatred has flowed into the chair and has made it stiff now.
Oh, that was emotional. I'm not gonna lie.
Tom's like that scene in Anchorman. I can't believe how out of hand that got. Justin
I
killed a
saw.
man. Did you use a trident? Yeah.
Wow, that escalated quickly. I mean, that got really out of hand.
I saw that. Justin killed a guy. Didn't you use a trident? Yeah. I don't know why I made Justin Steve Carell. I just thought it was funny.
Fuck. But no, I just had to. I get that. Like again, it really does just feel like you relied on everyone other than the Heralds being a bunch of bumbling stooges.
And no, the one scene where Bruticus actually comes off competent doesn't help your case either.
It just felt like you suddenly remembered. Oh yeah, these are the Combaticons.
Honestly, I was kind of hoping he would kill. He was gonna kill. Was it Cyclonus or Scourge? He was doing the grabbing on.
I think it was Scourge.
Honestly, I don't remember, and I
Honestly,
can't remember.
don't know, don't care, can't give a fuck.
Don't know, don't care, can't give a fuck. Moving on.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, Bruticus. Yeah, handled like ass, to put it mildly. Next on the list,
I'll
the
take
bringing
this
back
one.
of Mega.
Oh
Yeah,
wait,
go
wait,
ahead,
hang on.
Justin.
Let's give Justin his season in the sun.
Yeah, I'm letting him. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what we said. So, aside from Optimus, they also bring back Megatron. Not a bad idea,
Yay!
except they somehow managed to ruin that.
Aww.
And do you want to know how?
Oh,
Audience? How?
take it, brother. Take it away. Preach.
They basically took everything Megatron said at the end of Predacon, like learned at the end of Predacons Rising, and acted like it didn't happen.
Hallelujah.
Like, okay, for those of you who don't know, at the end of Predacons Rising, after Megatron, after being controlled by Unicron, and after he's freed, basically decides he no longer wants to be the ruler of every Cybertronian because he now understands what it means to be oppressed.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, he is now ashamed of himself and basically self-exiles himself.
Hallelujah.
Hang on. I'm gonna just check.
What a cheap, lying, no good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life snake.
Hang on. I think I found a perfect way to describe how Carlos has handled everything and how we feel about him. I'm adding it to the soundboard. I'm hoping it plays. I know it's a couple of months after Christmas, but I'm using it.
What a cheap, lying, no good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking, dog-kissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless, heartless, fat-ass, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spotty-lipped, worm-headed sack of monkey shit he is!
Holy fuck.
Yep.
Watch
Yep,
when Christmas rolls back around. Watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Holy shit, it's hilarious.
It is. It's
Yeah,
a classic.
And to finish off the quote, hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
And fuck people all of Ireland, I do this.
Honestly, that sums up it very well because literally when they bring Megatron back, it pretty much feels like everything he went through in the last, like, in Predacons Rising didn't happen. Not
Oh,
only
yeah,
that, but after they defeat the Heralds, which don't die, they just retreat, and it's basically like, well, looks like we're back to square one now.
Oh, Prime's back. I can be evil again.
Which is stupid because this isn't like an Armada. But that actually kind of makes sense because Megatron makes his decision to go into self-exile before Optimus, gave his spark to reignite the All-Spark.
Exactly. It's like Megatron actually went through some character growth in Predacons Rising, and this movie just says, nope, didn't happen.
Yeah, you mind explaining that, Carlos, amigo?
Also, Carlos, your Megatron voice isn't that great. I wouldn't say it's complete dog shit like some people are, but like
It's still
you
pretty
should have
bad.
gone with the other guy, dude. Just saying.
I do my own, but I feel like I've rawed out my voice enough where I'm not comfortable with doing it.
No,
It's fine.
totally understandable. Totally understandable.
You know what's actually kind of funny? I was
What?
technically holding back. I was holding back.
Holy! One of these days we gotta get you completely going off the rails like me and Hunter did. Actually, I think I went the most off the rails.
I would have, but it's too late and I'm already tired, so
Oh well,
I also
you could
just
say
don't wanna blow out
you could blame the old Dutch courage in me.
Well, I
You know
also
what?
just
Fair
don't
enough.
want to blow out my. I also just don't want to blow out my mic. So
Fair
Still,
enough.
the use of the National Lampoon quote was chef's kiss.
yes,
Thank you,
yes.
thank you, soundboard.
Oh yeah. So I don't know. Do you guys think I
Bro,
explained that pretty well? Like the problems of it.
you hit the nail on the fucking head.
You described every problem succinctly with Megatron.
I mean, like you said, bringing Megatron back, not a bad idea, in theory. In theory,
Like I said,
in theory, I can also probably kill myself with gasoline and a lighter.
Justin, I mean, Hunter, you keep making these fucking jokes. I'm gonna have to put a link. I'm just gonna have to put the suicide hotline across this entire podcast.
That was dark, no?
Well, I gotta dot my I's and cross my T's because let's just face it, the YouTube AI reviewer is a pussy.
Not my
Hell, I
fault.
imagine some of the manual reviewers are a bunch of pussies.
I mean, what was your first clue?
They're not nearly as bad as Twitch, but still.
Yeah. Anyways, I think we're getting close to about winding this down a bit. So, what else is there to talk about?
Should we just like rapid fire some of the big issues we had, like with the movie itself, like little things that we just sort of laughed at or slash just drove us batshit crazy?
Well, one thing I
I
did
we
think funny
covered
was the human. I think one thing that did make me laugh was the
Oh.
human models, but how stupid they were.
The human models. Oh my fucking god. My reaction
know
when I
what it
first
is.
saw some of those human models, this is generally what was going through my head. That came through, right?
No.
I didn't hear
Oh,
it.
what was it?
It was the goat scream.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
like, 'cause-
okay. Like there
Okay, I'll admit the human
ahead,
models in Prime were like in the show Prime. I'm not gonna say they were terrible, but
They weren't
I mean
fantastic.
yeah, but for a TV show they were good.
yeah,
I mean,
they were
I
good.
will grant they didn't look
This
as
is
boxy and like blocky as admittedly the Clone Wars character models did, which I know what they were going for. They were translating over Gen D style, but still, Dooku, holy shit, what did they do to him?
Very
admittedly
narrow
he kind of looked
face.
like a what. Yeah. In many ways, his face did make him kind of look like
He looks like a
marionette.
fucking Easter
Anyway.
Island head.
He kind of did.
Like I'm sorry,
Yeah.
like I'm not trying to be too mean. Like again, like guys, you know, I'm a prequel baby, and the Clone Wars was goated, but still, you could have done my boy a little better by making him look more like Christopher Lee.
No, I'm with
Anyway.
you. Yeah, anyways. It's like,
As
but
we
yeah, like no, I'm like, no, I agree with Justin. It's like, yeah, the human models in Transformers Prime, they were nothing spectacular, sure, but at the very least, they looked like people.
yeah, exactly.
Like they were going for they were doing they were trying to have the characters look varied because there's variation with humans. We don't all look the same.
They were they were stylized, which I mean I could jive with.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also
I mean,
it's like also like they had text they at least had texture. Sure, their skin looked more plastic than actual skin, but then again there's only so much CGI can do there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean it was
They're
clear
not
that the
going for a more
CGI budget was
cartoonish
much
look.
more heavily favored towards the bots, which fair enough. But they actually put in some effort for like the human character models, like enough where they could like it could be workable.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
can't all
here-
have that Lucasfilm budget.
No. But then you get to this movie and oh my god.
They look
Again,
like
it looks more like a test animation.
they look like fucking mannequins you would find at J.C. Penney.
They have those really creepy bulging eyes.
I'll say this, I'll give credit like on the subject of the humans, I will give credit. The guy voicing Fowler, you could tell he's having fun with the role, so I can't hate on him for it.
He's a little confused, but he's doing his best.
It's like, yeah, to quote Fresh Prince
Trying
of
to
Bel-Air.
sound like her.
Like, yeah, it's like that Will Smith bit. It's like, I mean, he's a little confused, but he's trying.
Like he's trying to imitate Ernie Hudson.
Yeah, and it's to be fair, Ernie Hudson's not is not an easy person to mimic.
He has a very deep and almost nasally voice, which just makes it very sultry. That is
he has
that is damn near impossible to recreate.
Yeah, you have to have those genetics.
Yeah.
It's like trying to imitate James Earl Jones's voice.
To be fair, I've heard some people come pretty close.
God, rest in peace, by the way, James.
Yeah. I mean, my biggest issue with the human models in this movie, boys, is just, well, other than just they're untextured and again, like the bulgy, uncanny valley eyes, is just for some reason, the human characters in this movie just can't keep their damn mouths closed. And I don't know why, but that bugs me more than it should.
They just constantly go.
Like their mouths are always slightly open to some extent. I feel, and it's like,
Which, I mean, I can kind of get what they were trying to go for. Like, the human jaw isn't always clenched when we have our lips sealed. That
no,
may
but
have been what they were trying to do. Maybe I'm giving way too much credit.
I mean, there's a few shots where it doesn't look too bad. Like there's a few shots where it's closed up on with close-ups on Fowler's face, and for the most part, it doesn't look too bad. Again, I just wish it had that same quality for the throughout the film, but again, that's neither here or there now.
Right.
Yeah, also the human characters are also kind of pointless in this movie because they don't really contribute anything to the story. Which is
I
a
do love how
damn
they apparently after 5 years, old Uncle Sam finally decided to approve of Silas's Damocles satellite because they literally just dropped the fucking hammer of dawn on Galvatron.
and it did nothing.
Which why I have to ask, why was it there in the first? Oh yeah, to close up that convenient hole that let all to close up that convenient little hole Unicron had. I'm not even going to say don't take that the wrong way. Please do. It's the only way to make this movie entertaining.
Yeah, it's like
You know it's
there was
bad when
no
I'm actually begging for double entendres.
yeah. Yeah, like I'm sorry, but there was no reason for that damn satellite to be here. Because but again, apparently Carlos was like, "Nope, we have to have it so that we don't have that dangling plot thread anymore." It was never a dangling plot thread in the show.
Yeah, I actually got to give some
Yeah.
credit. They did find a way to fuck up the internal consistency before Predacons Rising. So, round of applause to Carlos.
Round of applause for this shit fucking movie. It's like what else is there to say? Just no matter how you look at it, it's just bad.
We could always close off by just like rapid firing some of the shit we found that was just so bad. It almost made it entertaining in an entertaining form of bad, like like
Some of the,
hobgoblins.
Well,
I
I
mean,
think for
some of
me,
the,
like, go ahead, Justin. You go ahead, Justin. You go ahead.
like some of like the editing, like just like the way it would like cut and stuff, definitely had me laughing. Like
Yeah,
the scene when Bruticus punches a smoke screen there. It's like, okay, that wasn't supposed to be funny, but I'm laughing.
Or the scene where
everyone had.
apparently Galvatron knocked Bruticus down. I made the joke when we were watching it.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that was in the original cut. All 5 of the Combaticons just walked down the set fucking pissed drunk just to get through the rest of shooting, and they just fumbled when they combined.
Like honestly, like the best way I could sum up how bad they neuter Bruticus, Tom, is just like I am amazed that Bruticus can't even walk without stubbing his toe.
Oh, don't rev me up on that one again, please don't.
No, it's good. I guess one thing that I personally like, I guess a moment that I found funny, even though it did also piss me off, just because again, how bad the animation was admittedly the gaping hole in Knockout's chest, even though again there was no gaping hole.
Yeah.
It's like, how are you gonna say there's a gaping hole in your chest, my guy, and there's no gaping hole in your chest? You're full of shit.
Oh, it's simple because that would have taken some time altering the character model.
Apparently time is money.
Where's the money, Lebowski?
You're
Yeah,
right,
and
Tom.
there's
We should.
somewhere.
You're right. You're right, Tom. We should be watching Big Lebowski instead of talking about this piece of shit.
Because that movie's
I would
also right. The
recommend we
bums
go,
always lose.
Yeah.
even though in that
I mean,
movie technically the bums are the winners at the end.
yep.
Ah, shit.
It's an underdog story.
Fair
Unlike this
enough.
movie.
I don't really say it's an underdog story, but we're not here to talk about the Big Lebowski.
No, it is an underdog story.
So,
As in the dog was under a truck.
never happened.
Okay, that was that was funny.
I mean, yeah. It was,
I just love Justin was like taking it seriously. I don't remember that happening in the movie.
I've seen the movie several times, so
I know. I've seen it a few times too, and I like it. But anyways,
Again, team me up, I'll knock him down.
okay. What was something so bad that you thought it was funny, Tom?
Oh, how about that one injured Viacon that came crashing down? Even though it looks like he just snuck off the macadams, got absolutely wankered, it just belly flopped. Again, I'm just, I could, if I could, I would edit in just like drunk demo man voice lines to that.
I love every single one of you, but not you. Says that like he's saying that to Knockout, but not you.
I've got a few
Oh my
moments.
God.
Anyone else want to like add in?
nah.
I can't think of anything, so
I
you
think
go
I'm
ahead,
good.
bro.
All right, I got a couple of them. There was the one where like Slipstream saying it makes me feel tingly all over. And it just looks like the animator just shook the shit out of her in like in just like the environment. It just left that in.
Yeah,
Like
it's like
literally,
so.
it just
It's like
looks like they
somebody hit
just
the rag.
shook. They just like took the mouse, just shook the shit out of the character model in a static pose, just recorded, and it just said, "Fuck it, I'm done. Can I have my paycheck?"
Exact. Right. Or wait, no. Oh wait, nobody got paid on this movie.
I wouldn't say nobody got
Is
paid.
Uh, not. Yeah, Carlos got paid. Maybe.
I'm not gonna go into any allegations of him pocketing the money. I'm gonna be that nice.
Yeah, because again, like for as much shit as we're giving, we're not completely throwing the guy under the bus. Because like I did. Because I'll say this, folks. Like Tom said, I was willing to give this the benefit of the doubt. I went in wanting to give this a chance. Like, okay, maybe it can, because I heard it was bad. I'm like, well, maybe it can be a so bad that it manages to be fun in spite of itself. And it just wasn't. Like, I was just, we were, again, like, I speak for all of us when I say this, people. We were let down by this. And remember, we didn't put any money into this, and we still feel like we got robbed. And it's like I said, what definitely has not been helping is Carlos's attempts at damage control because again, he's literally blaming everyone else but himself. I think the best way I
which
can
is
sum up
probably the
how
most
my thought,
damning thing. Oh,
yeah, it's like, no, I agree, Justin. It doesn't make him look good. And again, I'm not saying this to throw shit in someone's eye. It's just like, look, there's a way to do damage control again, and that what it should have been was him coming out saying, "Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. This was not what this wasn't what I wanted to put out. I am sorry. I promise I will try harder." That's all he needed to say. If he had just done that, everyone would have just moved on. I mean, sure, the movie would still get, ripped apart, but still people would just laugh, point, and move on with it, But his attempts at damage control and shifting blame to literally everyone but himself has just damaged him. Like all the animators got thrown under the bus to the point where it's like they've pretty much said, again, fuck you and the ship you rode in on.
yeah.
It's
If,
like
and
serious.
because I was just
No, go
saying,
ahead.
considering a lot of them have come out and expressed their frustration with this guy, I doubt he's gonna find any new people to do his to work on any of his quote upcoming projects.
I'm gonna agree
Well,
with Black Crown Production on this. Like, if Carlos is going to hire somebody else, like actually hire someone and pay them to do a lot of his work, and he like gives them half the shit he gave Ben and the others, I wouldn't be surprised if he just said, "Money's not worth it. Do it yourself. I'm out. Fuck
I'm
off."
not. It's
Because
like,
admittedly,
yeah,
he
because it's
has
like,
nuked. He's nuked virtually every fucking bridge he could possibly have in getting any sort of talent out of this community.
yeah, it's like, again, like, honestly, Tom, I think the best way I could sum up how Carlos has handled all of this in terms regarding his leadership is to take a quote from Remember the Titans. Attitude reflect leadership, Captain.
Yeah.
Like, that is such a good quote because it's true. It's like attitude reflects the leadership. And in this case, yeah, Carlos, you have no one but yourself to blame for the situation you're now in. Like, I'm sorry. And it's like, now don't get me wrong. If Carlos does still go ahead with his future projects, which again, I doubt they're going to happen considering how oven roasted this got. But it's like, if he is moving ahead with Dinobots Unleashed, then honestly, I hope that he actually does listen to all of the feedback he got, even if some of it was just people shitting on the guy, and, apply it. Because like I said, at the end of the day, I don't want anyone to fail. Like, this is where I am actually throwing a bone. And to be fair, I'm throwing a bone because I'm being genuine. It's like, I get where people can come from. It's hard to open yourself up to criticism. But again, not all criticism is bad criticism. Like, people criticize you because they see the potential in your work and they want you to do better. And at the end of the day, Carlos, that's all anyone wants. We want to see you do better. We want you to prove that you can, we want you to prove your actual haters that you can do better.
Right.
Like, maybe, sure, am I being overly nice? Maybe, but to be fair, compared to some of the people, compared to a certain other person Carlos worked on this movie, again, he will not be named, I think Carlos can still pull a win if he's actually willing to put in the effort.
I mean, I don't know. The last time you tried to give this guy credit, he kind of let you down. Like when you tried to say he didn't disable comments on the movie, and we told you he did.
Yeah, that pissed me off a little bit. I'm like, God dang it.
That was funny. That was funny as shit. Because, like, Justin, I think you and I were in sync when we told him, "Oh, he did."
Yeah.
And I was like, God dang it, Carlos. I'm trying to throw you a bone and you won't even let me do that.
Justin,
like,
you got any final thoughts on like the movie and all the other like tomfuckery that happened around it?
Other than uh I hope Ben, the one animator, I hope you get better work in the future because you deserve it, buddy.
Yeah,
indeed.
Ben's video will be in the description.
Yeah,
I should
go
probably
check out
keep
Black
I
Crown.
should probably keep my final thought simple and
Oh, that
concise
was
because
oh wait. I just had to point this out. That was another thing that really damned Carlos is that during one of Ben's videos, he was literally commenting the damn thing, basically trying to say like, "Don't listen to him. He's a liar."
oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah. If you watch back like the premiere chat, you see Carlos trying to cover his ass.
And the video hadn't even started.
Oh my fucking god.
Okay, that was the most funniest thing to come out of this.
Okay, I
All
can't
right, I'm
disagree
gonna
there.
keep mine to. I think I'm actually starting to like. I think the booze is wearing off, so I'll be able to like form words with maybe more than 2 or 3 syllables again. Probably
Okay.
not. I can barely speak English when I'm sober because I'm a fucking gorilla compared to the goat that was J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel bad for speaking like a caveman. I'm gonna make the rest of Gen Z feel like that too.
Mhm.
My insecurities aside. Um, like I said, like even despite my personal qualms that arose, I never once wished for this movie to end up like this. I genuinely
No.
didn't.
And none of us did.
Like somebody, whoever preyed on Carlos's downfall. Holy shit! That's
Well,
all
you
I
got
could
your
say
wish.
about that. Just like, holy hell. But I genuinely wanted to give this movie a chance. I even saw a bunch of the videos kind of ripping this a new one. I was like, okay, I admit I was not the biggest fan of the unrendered stuff, but I didn't think like this was going to end in anything that bad, even with like some of the snippets other creators showed. Again, all their links will be in the description, as well as Johnny Flash's Indiegogo. I believe last I checked, he was 28% of the way to his goal that he's trying to reach before the end of the month.
I think
Here's
so.
hoping he.
Let's just.
Here's hoping he can get it.
Yeah, same here. But
mean- Did he like show some progress of his project?
oh yeah, he did
did.
in the video I linked to you guys. But anyway, before I just keep losing my track, yeah, I was genuinely trying to give the benefit of the doubt. I just wasn't going to watch it because of my personal qualms. I gave my thoughts on the unrendered scenes that he shared. I genuinely wanted this to come out on top.
At the very least, have it be decent.
Yeah, but eventually my curiosity got the better of me. I was bored one night. I watched it with my lovely, lovely audience. Well, all of you who are watching this, you're beautiful people. And yeah, I consider myself a very forgiving guy. I'm rarely, if ever, disappointed by anything. Disappointment doesn't begin to describe how I felt about this.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
So yeah, the movie, I mean, just like everything about this movie was just so fucking annoying. The diatribe of exposition diarrhea was exhausting.
Put it
The
mildly.
the I guess the best way I can describe it is like, and the best way I can describe what was wrong with the very foundation of this project was that it suffered the same kind of issues a lot of things have suffered from. It put too many eggs in one basket. It made the frosting before it baked the cake.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, I think
can
it's pretty clear he, wanted this to be the next, like, some kind of franchise.
He had, like, if he had just stuck with either the Heralds or the Galvatrons, it probably would have halved the issues that came about with the story
Would have felt
alone.
It would have felt less like a clusterfuck, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Like, the
also, I
reason-
still can't get. Oh, also, before we forget, folks, I'm only just bringing it up because it's not even a real. We're not going to dwell on it for too long. There is a post-credit scene, but all three of us were like, "No, fuck you. You don't deserve it."
I decided to say fuck it. Where I said no, fuck you was when it rolled the credits. I'm just like, no, fuck off. You are not worthy of that of Brian Tyler's soundtrack. Go fuck yourself. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to be flat out of that. If they just stuck with one set of antagonists over another set of antagonists, once again, you would have saved yourself a shit ton of trouble. And I think it would have halved a lot of this if Carlos wasn't so fucking wishy-washy about what was going on with one of his talents and just picked the side of the fence. Depending on it would have saved him a lot of trouble. But it definitely felt like he was the entire project I can best describe as Carlos wanted his cake and to eat it too, in so many aspects, and it just didn't work.
It didn't.
I say that as someone disappointed who genuinely did not want it to become this much of a train wreck.
No, not at all. And like I said, I just don't even know if he should pursue doing Dinobots Unleashed at this point, because it's like, like at that point, it's like, who are you making this for? Like, the 3 or 4 people that are going to be left?
it's just been an. I'm sorry, but it's just like the production of this, the release of this, and the post release damage control.
Does not paint the prettiest picture.
I just
No.
don't know how Carlos is going to salvage any of this.
Here's hoping he can, but at the same time,
Might as well just
what-
cut his losses.
that's what I would do.
Because I do have to give Carlos's credit. This is the level of just horsefuckery we've only ever seen from the AAA gaming industry in recent years.
Or hell, even even just the movie industry itself.
Oh, do we have examples? But we're not here to talk about it because I mean, who knows?
This
Maybe
video's already-
maybe this will. I mean, who knows? Maybe this will be Carlos's resume. He can make. I don't know. Insert Tom fuckery of a movie franchise here.
I think where he can salvage it, if he's even able to, is I think what Carlos needs to do, personally, boys, is he needs to bring someone on who will both answer to him, but also is smart enough to not answer him when needed. You get what I'm saying?
Someone who's not afraid to just tell him when shit's not working.
Yeah, in other
Yes.
words, he needs somebody that's like gonna help him get the shit done, but at the same time is going to be, can rein him in and say, no, that's stupid. We're not doing that.
Yeah, but I think that's pretty much the entire kit and caboodle we can talk about. So
Yeah, because anything else,
this
is
has been
just-
something of a more. This has been something of a more kind of. Would you call it a negative thing we've done on the podcast, guys?
I mean, I guess technically, yeah, but again, we're giving our thoughts here, and again, sometimes our thoughts are just going to be brutally honest, whether they're for positive or negative.
But I'm hoping,
Yeah.
and I mean, I do admit that this is feeling a little icky. I've prided myself on having this channel being on something that's fun, that's relaxing, that's something that we can all just have a good laugh at. I just fucking headbutted my microphone. But I just
like
definitely
that.
feel like as Transformers fans and as somebody who had me in particular, somebody who has more than made his voice kind of heard about his 2 cents on the project, on what everything that's happened before, during, and after. I definitely feel like you guys deserve to know my full thoughts because I try to be an open book on this channel. I try to be real on my channel. You all deserve to know the full story of how I feel, especially on something that I am passionate about.
Tommy, you're preaching to the choir when it comes to me, bro. Like, trust me, like when it comes to a movie or anything that's part of a franchise that I love, it's like, yeah, I will always try to find something positive about it I like. And sure, there were some positives in this that I did like. Like we said at the beginning, like the character designs are good, but it's just, again, like, just because we're fans doesn't mean that, we just have to sit there and consume. Like, we should be allowed to voice our opinions and say, yeah, if something ain't good, I'm sorry, it ain't good.
And I'm happy to just like prove we aren't just shitting on Carlos to shit on Carlos, because I can do another one of these and we can discuss like any other TF media and show that we aren't just picking favorites. We can easily dig into some of the fuck ups official media has done. I guarantee Hunter wants to chomp at the bit and talking about the Warp Cybertron trilogy.
No, if anything, I would more want to tear into RID 15 and my issues with it as a sequel to Prime. But
Or if you
also,
want to talk about something more positive, how about the new run of comics from Skybound?
Oh yeah,
definitely.
I'd be happy to do a podcast on talking about like the Skybound comics and how they're
Well, I guess
stacking up because long story short, holy shit,
Shit's getting
Skybound, y'all really did earn getting that Torch pass from IDW.
You really did. Like, seriously, y'all have been cooking for over the last year.
But it's going to be a bit of a gap between our next Transformers podcast because I'm not all right. No spoilers, no spoilers from either of you. But there is something coming out that Hunter and Justin are going to be incredibly impassioned about. That I'd be happy to do another podcast episode for.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
Well,
I
I
mean,
guess with
but
that-
after that, I'd be happy to like discuss some of the other some other things that we wouldn't be afraid to. I mean, yeah, I guess it could just be like a general grievance we each have with a certain Transformers media. Just to prove we are
Maybe.
just to prove that we are kind of
we're not just picking on someone.
yeah, because I
Yeah.
think it would be good for each of us to have our own little moment to just discuss about things that have irked us in the 40 years this franchise has been going, like things that I mean I wouldn't say we are vitriol about, but we can we're definitely like
Justin, I just picture Justin pulling out the list like he's Santa Claus for Christmas.
I'm not that negative. Am
I
I?
know, but
no,
No, but
you're
I just
not.
think
I
it was-
just
I just thought the mental image was funny.
I know. I mean I've been trying to go back on like picking you about that. You're
I
honest.
know, but
You're honest.
yeah, you're honest. We're all honest. We're
But,
just brutally honest.
But I guess that's going to do it, and I definitely think it should do it because I can definitely feel my voice going a little bit.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to close up by saying, Hunter, Justin, thank you both so much for like taking some time out of your evenings to do this. I think you guys definitely added in some good stuff that I probably would have forgotten to do if I was doing this by myself.
You're
All
welcome.
good, brother.
Have you any final thoughts to the audience before we log out?
Well, all I'm gonna say
Other
is,
than
oh, you go ahead, Justin.
other than don't watch this. Maybe we should, and then encourage people to make more videos, and then maybe that would encourage Carlos to do better.
My advice to people: go watch Transformers 1. Remind yourself what a good Transformers movie should look like.
Or in this
Indeed.
case, just rewatch Transformers Prime.
Yes,
That too.
if you want to relive Transformers Prime, watch Transformers Prime. It's on YouTube.
For free.
So that's all that there is to say about this. So don't forget
all
to
she
check
wrote.
out. So don't forget to check out Hunter's channel. I'll definitely leave that in the description. Check out all the other YouTubers that have talked about this movie. I'll leave links to their channels. I'll leave links to Firewood Media, who did a really good breakdown of what happened. Brushed Ranger, who also did a breakdown. Black Crown Productions, who worked on this project and gives a good insight on his perspective on things. Maxim C55, who also did a much more concise, succinct, and good breakdown on just what went right, what went wrong, and just was way funnier about describing what happened in this movie than we are. So go check him out. And if you want an even better, just raw reaction to this movie than mine, check out the Fire Brothers. And last but certainly not least, go check out the video Johnny Flash did on his latest project he's working on. And if you feel like you want to put in even $1 to a far more worthy fan film creator, too harsh.
Yeah.
But if you feel like you want to give money to somebody who has well, let's just say he has a far better track record. How about that?
Agreed. 100%.
Somebody who has a far more trusted track record, please go ahead and check out Johnny Flash's Indiegogo. And if you feel like donating so he can complete his project, feel free to donate. All of that will be down in the description below. And I think that is just about it. That is going to do it for this episode of the Game Taverns podcast. And as always, This has been the last call from the Game Tavern. Have a very, very lovely time of day to all you very, very lovely people.
Peace.
Hey.